Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. I am Zim and this is the Starlight Expedition's Pokerole, our Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop campaign. This is Chapter 2, Episode 9, Oran Grove, the Scarlet Mystery, Part 4. We shall begin, as we always do, with introductions. Beginning with the one, the only, the absolutely magnanimously special and awesome friend, Rykon.
What? Oh, it's me. Hey everyone, my name is Rygon from the channel Rygon Plays. I am the storyteller for this little operation we've got going on here. I am the individual who's in charge of the narration, setting up the world, talking for the NPCs, as well as telling the players the consequences of their actions. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's session just as much as we enjoy giving it to you.
And next up, we've got Amos. Oh, what's our question?
Ah, yes. Your character has a chance to have a wish that can grant them anything. What would they wish for?
Repeat that one, please.
Your character has a wish that they can wish for anything. What do they wish for?
All right. Amos?
I am wearing a mole and I play Amos the Growlithe. And I make things go boo. I think Amos would probably... He can make one wish. What does he wish for? Probably something that either is like an incendiary grenade or like some kind of explosive, and he would very much want to use it on these Alabaster Gleam people.
You sure that's not what you want? All right.
I am convinced that Amos, before he became a Pokemon, was just Werny himself.
Probably.
Either that or an arsonist.
Is there a difference?
Well, yes, because Werny is more than an arsonist, although he is that too.
Well, anyways, Azareth!
Greetings all, I am Ozdayu, who is also a streamer and such, but that's besides the point. I play Azareth, the off-color jangmo-o, who is a joyful dancer. Words are hard. As for the wish, he would contemplate a lot. And he would wish for wanting to find out more of the mural he once saw.
Okay. Fair enough.
And next up is me. I am Zim, and I play as Jet, the ghost electric type Rockruff. And he would wish for his friends to stay safe.
Well, now I feel like it's the water wraith, but I'm not going to tell you
Dart!
to do so.
You mean Argus?
Give me an Argus.
Or I'm just wait until you get home, preferably, please.
I'm getting kicked out.
He wasn't home. Okay.
I thought it was
No,
hope.
he wasn't.
Oh, wait, take it from the top. Good evening, everyone. My name is Seda, and I play Dart, the Steel Ground Rockruff, and Keeper of Notes. As for what he wished for, at the moment, the thing that is clawing at the back of his mind, he would wish to remember his past, who he was before, and why he ended up here. If there were even answers for that.
Okay.
All right.
It wasn't just from Challenge Match.
Shade!
It was a little bit of-
Hello, I am Taldarius, and I am playing Shade the Zora. And if he had one thing to wish for, he would absolutely punch that ticket for a do-over. Specifically of his time in Oran Grove. And I also technically
okay.
play the Keeper of Rules. If I have said it's the Keeper of Notes.
Okay, I'm glad you specified because I was just going to turn you into a bacteria.
No.
Start from the beginning. No, we started too far from the beginning. A little bit after the beginning.
What about? You're no longer a Zora. You're the common cold.
In the beginning, there was nothing.
Return to egg.
I wish to go back to the beginning of time where everything was created. Wouldn't you not exist then? I would be the creator. Wow, that's something. Okay.
All right, do over for yourself. Got it. Anyone else?
Well, of course, we can't forget about the
And we're moving
other half of
on.
the werecutes.
Wait, no!
Okay, go ahead.
Mean!
Before I was getting shoved aside. Hi, my name is Avi. Also, you may know me as Aviating Wolf. I am playing as Vector, the water-flying rockruff, and one wish that Vector would probably want. He just wants to be. He just wishes a place that's safe. Just something to kind of just be able to catch his breath for once. He just wants to be in just a safe place for now.
Kerpoofle, you're in a barrel.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Quick, someone throw 10 biddies at the AV so he cheers up.
Oh, I already
Wait.
did.
No,
Nice.
wait.
Literally the moment he started his intro, I threw 10 biddies at him.
Alrighty.
Alright, well, as always, everyone, do make sure that you check out, if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out the description down below. Most of these wonderful people and friends here are also streamers, so please make sure you go check out their channels. There are links down in the description below. For those of you here on stream, RZ beat me to it, but there's all the links to all the channels right there in chat. Also, just another quick reminder, the Streamloots cards are not valid on this game for the foreseeable future. As for tip goals, we do have one set up for NPC icons. But otherwise, we'll go ahead and turn the recap over to the note taker of the group, Seda.
Well, thank you for the follow, Magic Shadow.
Also, make sure you all go check out Rygon over at Rygon Plays, who also streams this game.
Are we ready to begin?
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
I just didn't want to interrupt. So, last time on Starlight Expeditions, Aurum Grove, the Scarlet Mystery. Team Astrodon, upon discovering that the Alabaster Gleam were indeed spreading their influence among Orange Grove and making the citizens sick, split up and looked for clues and information. One group comprising of Amos, Argus, Azareth, and Vector encountered one of the higher-up members of the operation and were violently attacked, severely injuring Argus. Jet and Dart went off, located the Alabaster's Gleam camp, and managed to capture themselves a captive by the name of Gregory Simmers. Meanwhile, Jolene and new arrival Shade went off into the woods to try to find the herb that would be needed to potentially craft a cure, and try to seek out the master brewer, Miss Simmers, who would be the group's best chance of actually using the herb to craft said cure. The last session, Jet and Dart brought their captive back to the wagon under the commotion that was caused by Amos, Argus, Azareth, and Vector returning with the injured Argus. Meanwhile, Jolene and Shade were out and about fighting another member of the Alabaster Gleam who were seemingly controlling a tree, severely injuring, I believe it was Jolene. Now the group finds themselves at an impasse, waiting for Jolene and Shade to return with the much-needed herb, and try to gather more information about the operations here from their captive of Gregory. Though knowing that there is potentially a weak point of the water tanks that they supply, the group is now to decide their next course of action to try to save Oran Grove and hopefully the town of Starlight as well. This is part 4 of the Scarlet Mystery at Oran Grove.
Well, you all may continue.
In particular, for the last few notes, the Shade aside, the main group, we were interrogating Gregory, and they're wearing pure white robes. They've been a part of the Alabaster Gleam since they arrived in Oran Grove, seemingly indicating that the Alabaster Gleam has done some local recruiting. There are about 12 core members of the Alabaster Gleam that wear the purple trim. The one with the knives that attacked Amos, Argus, Azareth, and Vector is named Mr. Putty. And that is where we ended this session.
I forgot about that.
Let's see, we are... How do we begin? What would be the best thing to say?
I don't know, but you all got until the end of this brownie that I'm eating for it to do something.
Dart's gonna sit back and ponder and bring a paw to under his muzzle. Say, well, I think given all that's happened, while we wait for Jolene to get back, it's best if we try to recap the facts. Figure out if we're seeing the full picture and what's our best course of action.
We just got a redeemed voice line by Zim. Dart gets a bonus 5 experience. Has been a redeemed voice line by Zim.
Oh man.
I wasn't sure if you were going to actually say it.
Yeah. I keep to my redeems. Songs are not obviously not too disruptive.
All right, well, you heard the storyteller, Dart. You get extra 5 experience.
Unfortunately, though, Zim loses 5 experience. They gotta come from somewhere.
Then I forgot.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like shy to, and now it's been half an hour, and I feel
At least
like
Jet
it's
is safe.
I wonder about that. Also, I'm almost done eating my brownie.
Well, it's now enough for you, Seda.
Yep. Alright. So team. So we know that. So I would probably guess that the Alabaster Gleam are at least recruiting some of the locals that they come into.
I would definitely agree on that. It's hard to imagine that they'd be bringing all of these people from who knows where their base is. Recruiting locals is definitely the easiest. Especially since this guy doesn't know anything.
They need to get their workforce from somewhere.
Wait. 2 things that cross my mind now. I wonder if they're recruiting important village folks. Because we haven't seen hide nor hair of Marten Tavern Keep. Oh. As well as back in Starlight, who were the ones in white robes, and how are they going about? As it makes me wonder, Dart, you and Argus had a hard time coming in. Well, just you, because... But were they just wearing white? What made them... If they were, what made them betray the guild?
I honestly don't know on that. When I was outside of the gates of Starlight, I was still very weak, and I was a little bit more on the culture shock of waking up like this.
Everyone who was awake over on Starlight, go ahead and roll me a dexterity. What's a good one?
Dexterity?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what would be a good skill to look back on memories with.
Smart?
Almost insight, smart.
Hang on. No. Here's my. I'm gonna say it again. I hate the Pokemon sheet for Pokerole. The knowledge stats are trainer stats.
Okay.
As a suggestion, would you want to include logic in there? Like maybe an insight, smart logic?
Yeah.
No, because logic represents a understanding of sorts. Memories aren't necessarily an understanding; they are a reconstruction.
I would say out of the options here, smart contest perform.
I'm gonna stick with insight, smart contest perform. Let's do that.
So
You all get a
force?
big roll. Yeah,
Hello.
you're not going to see that very often, but I'm going to have it for this one, and this is going to be our memory roll.
Okay.
So that was
This is for people.
What?
And this is for the people who that were in.
Who are in Starlight. If you
In
want to get a
Starlight.
result, you got to get 3.
So what was the full list? It was Insight, Smart.
Insight,
Also, hi,
Smarts,
Argus.
Contest, Perform, I think.
If that is
Or
what you
no,
said.
Insight, Smart, Survival, Perform, I think.
Oh, you said contest initially, but I would actually probably argue
Actually, you know,
survival.
what, let's make it. Yeah, let's make it Survival. Let's make it Survival.
All right, Insight,
should we
Smart, Survival, Perform.
What?
Okay, real quick, since Argus is here, let's go ahead and do his intro.
Okay, continues eating brownie.
2 hours and 40 minutes.
I want a brownie.
No more the best.
Do your intro. Also, the question for
Hi,
tonight
I'm
was...
Aurum and I play Argus.
The question for tonight was, you have one wish, what do you wish for?
We're not upset. It's okay.
I'm Aurum. I play Argus, the scaredy cat tyrant. And he would wish for the ability to never be hurt.
Okay. You're Pooful. You're now a statue.
Okay,
Also,
I mean, I'm already rock type.
that is an insane
Dark.
roll, Seda.
Dart, you have 5 dice and you all 5 successes. I had 7 dice on the initial roll, but now I have to re-roll it because it's a different pool. And I got only 1 success. Ow!
Okay, I don't know what we're rolling for.
To everyone to remember whether or not they saw people wearing white at Starlight.
And this is Insight, Smart, Survival, Perform for rolls to remember. That's how I
Yeah,
roll.
right.
Insight, Smart, Survival, Perform.
So, for context,
That'd be
is because we're trying to get everyone up to speed and understand the full picture. Azareth posed 2 questions. Are they recruiting important town members? And what about people in Starlight? Why would they go on?
Oh, sorry. I do want to ask as well, just to make sure I do not roll for this one, correct? I guess I don't think I've been.
No, you weren't there.
Okay, just want to make sure.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Or maybe you were there and we just didn't know.
Oh, that's better.
I feel like Dart was just being like, yeah, I don't remember, and then just suddenly, like, just memory just hit.
It's like that sudden realization. It's like that sudden realization. But like, oh.
Just living in the memory, just like, wait.
Mhm.
Let's have a look here, zoom, whatever. Yeah, I rolled a 5.
All right. For those of you who rolled a 3 or higher, you jog back through your memories, and each of you can distinctly remember you did not see anybody who wore pure white robes. All of them had the red trim.
Never mind, I thought wrong. There was no one in pure white. They all had a red trim. Which would mean their main force is over in Starlight while they're trying to expand out. Their territory takeover?
Gregory, a question for you.
What is it?
Is there anyone from the Alabaster Gleam coming in, providing supplies, or are all the meals sourced and provided here?
They came with it. They said that they knew things were kind of happening and they wanted to help. So they came with all their supplies. They said that they'll have to go back for more in about a month.
So
Actually, let me correct that. In about a week.
That means we should probably stop them before the week is up, because that means that whatever they're doing, they will probably finish.
I do know that we were told that they're almost done with Starlight as well, so I don't think we even have a week here to resolve this. I think we've only got a few days.
Given the commotion that I saw outside, we might only have a day at best. Our presence here is being well observed. We've already been attacked.
Wish Jolene and that Shade guy are here.
I just hope wherever they are, they get back soon.
And complete whatever they're doing. We're running out of options.
Alright, so we know that there's no supply line that would cripple them. So whatever they have that's causing the sickness is most certainly at their camp. And Jet, we did see those tanks.
Maybe if we were to try and sneak in some of the food and water that they keep serving, maybe we could turn this around on them.
I would imagine that whatever sickness they're causing, they have a cure for.
I don't think it's a good idea myself.
That would be very.
It might also take too long to affect them.
Might be very sloppy for them.
Oh no, I don't think you all are ready for that.
What?
Don't mind me.
Oh, okay.
I don't think trying to do that would work fast enough, and we are limited on time. I say we just deal with the tanks.
But are we certain that the tanks would be the potential source of sickness? If they are getting it into the water...
Alright, so sorry to interrupt real quick. I am going to allow the audience for this one to enact a major event to happen. If we receive enough tips or whatever, I will cause this event to happen to the equivalent of, I don't know, what would you say, Zim?
Are you talking about... I don't know what you've got in mind, so...
Well, I finished my brownie, which means that I've done a roll, and that roll is going to cause a major event to happen. This is my bet with the audience. So if you want to see something major and interesting to happen to our poor little group of Pokemon here, then we can tip, donate, biddies, whatever, to, like, I don't know, the equivalent of $30 or something. And it could be on either Zim or I's channel. What do you think on that?
Works for me.
All right. If either Zim or I get the equivalent of about $30, I will cause a major event to happen.
What if you both get it?
I mean, if we both, I mean, so long as the minimum of 30 is meant combined, that's okay. But no, I should keep it a secret. No, I would keep it a secret.
Dragon's having too much fun. Are we gonna have fun with it?
We'll find out anyway. I'm ready to jump back in.
When Rygon has fun, that means we're gonna have fun. And also die.
Let's just say it'll be interesting, and it might actually help you guys out if you know how to use it.
Fair. No.
Suddenly a gun just beams in from the heavens.
Your
problem is, it's a gun that explodes randomly.
That is also close.
This This was Amos's calling.
A portal gun.
Various guns just fall from the ceiling. Amos gets a minigun with tracer
I
rounds.
get a Nerf gun.
Yes.
A generous bestowal.
Happy Amos noises.
I just get
Corbin
like,
Proa tipped $10.
just get a
Fine, guess
missile.
I am curious.
Well, that's one
We've
third
got
of the
10
way
out of
there.
30.
Right, but Dart in character is going to continue the question, being like, okay, is there anything else that we're missing? Anything else that we've observed while being here? We know the citizens are getting sick. We theorize that it's the food and water. And that whatever poison is must be stored at their camp. And we know that the purple trims are dangerous.
And we also noticed that they want to keep they want to keep all the people in their houses. I don't know if they. I know that obviously they want to just keep us there, keep them there, but maybe
It sounds like they want free reign.
yeah, like that control alone is going to cause a lot of issues already, and a lot of
As-
people trying to get that food and water as well.
As
Is
you
there a
all are
way-
discussing amongst yourself, you suddenly hear what sounds like panicked crying from outside. People are talking and there's some shouting suddenly going on.
There's no window in this house. Oh my. Azra's
Oh, we
trying
should
to
go
peek over
check
the
that
door.
out.
Also,
Go ahead.
Rin the Catato has tipped $20.
Oh.
Let
Oh,
the
no.
event
Oh.
begin.
Also, I should point out, Amos, because of last session that you weren't here, we had Amos guard the wagon since no one else was guarding it, besides Blaze.
Okay.
So we all just gonna poke our head out the door like in those cartoons, one right after the other in a ladder formation?
I will go ahead and poke my head out of the door out of curiosity.
I will poke my head out right above Avi's. Or Vector's.
I'm going to poke my head out right under Vectors.
Azra's get under everyone and be the bottom because he's heaviest.
Azareth, actually, I'm going to need you to make a roll.
Oh no.
Give me an insight survival alert, please.
Insight survival alert. Understood. 1, 2, 3, 4.
In the meanwhile, Vector is blushing.
2 successes.
You make it?
We have a puppy sandwich.
Uh-huh.
You hear some sloshing underneath the table.
Table?
Yep,
Wait a second.
you're the one in that room. You're closest to it.
Azareth will like to inspect this sloshing, inching ever so closely while staring at it.
Okay. As you look underneath the table, you see what appears to be a pot, but the pot is empty. The sloshing sound seems to be just a little bit more above, like underneath the lip of the table.
Azareth will dart his eyes upwards.
You see that the water that had previously been in the pot is now kind of flat against the underneath side of the table. It just kind of sloshes around in an almost bubble-like pattern.
Gravity is being pulled upwards.
For the rest of you, as you are looking outside, you can see that it is now snowing upwards.
What?
Are we going upwards at all, or
You can feel a faint tugging, but all of you are still firmly on the ground. You can see some of the white robes who had been watching you are now pointing up at the sky, as well as some of the citizens who have come out of their houses.
Jet's gonna look up?
It's a little hard to see, but as you look up through the what do you call it? The wall of snowflakes that have suddenly started to gather and spread throughout the sky, you can see that they all seem to be coalescing into what appears to be a gigantic watery ball.
That doesn't look good.
Does anyone know what that is?
I don't think that's supposed to happen, right? That's not how it's supposed to happen, right?
Oh, no, I don't think it's how it's supposed to happen.
Azris would let Doc know, like, the water is floating upwards, and everyone's having commotion outside.
What do you all do?
Wait, those are the white
Everyone is
robes
distracted
people?
looking upwards.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm just putting some white robes on the map.
How many of them have purple trim?
None of them.
Wait, did they... I guess they found out we were in this house?
No, they're just meandering. They're looking about.
Remember, free reign. But I should also point out that they're looking up.
Yeah,
Where
they're
are they
not looking
not
at you
looking?
guys.
Yeah, just one quick question. Where does it look like this kind of like sphere is like coalescing? Like, is it like over any particular target, or is it just kind of like off in the distance?
Right above the town.
Right up the entire town.
The entire town. You can literally see clouds that are drifting nearby suddenly getting like sucked into it, just like.
Wait,
But
how
nothing
many
else.
of the white... Do the white robe people look like they were former villagers?
You can't tell. They just
don't-
look like Pokemon.
Gregory!
Gregory's inside with us.
Yeah,
Hey, what's
I'm
going on, guys?
I'm
Why'd you
going to
keep
grab
shouting?
Gregory and take him out. Do you recognize any of these white robe people?
What the hell is that?
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah. He's not looking at the white robes.
I'm wondering if this is what they were preparing for and why they're almost done.
No, nobody mentioned anything like this.
Did they mention
gotta be-
poisoning everyone?
Oh no. Oh no, I know what that is.
Huh?
Gregory is saying that?
Guys,
Tom?
guys, we gotta get to a basement like now.
Basement? What house has a basement?
My mother's house. It's got a basement. It's just down the street and about a quarter of a mile down the road.
How soon do you think this will take?
Maybe 10 minutes if we hurry.
Okay, let's
Okay.
get to the wagon. Let's get to the wagon.
Get Blaze there too.
Grab the small guys.
Can you tell us what's going on? What's going on?
It's the
We need
slicing
to go.
rain. It's the slicing rain.
Oh, Doc, we need to move.
Grab the people we can from inside.
Vector is going to kind of step out and he's going to look at everyone just to see who's out. And he's going to go ahead and just say, everyone, you need to find cover. You guys need to run. And it please. And I'm gonna go ahead and just try to he's actually gonna go ahead and see if there's anyone else that doesn't know what they're doing, like to see if they're just still standing there.
Argus is trying to get the sick people he can carry.
Jet is going to untie Gregory.
Azris would like to help Argus if possible, and if Doc will allow. There's this thing of slicing rain, and basement is needed now?
Oh no. Yes, I've heard of this. Quickly, unhook Blaze from the wagon. We cannot stay out here in the open.
Unhook Blaze in the wagon? Okay. What about these guys? As he slowly walks to the door, kind of anxious.
Take who you can, but we cannot stay out here for very long.
Okay. Take who we can. Is there any... Who's the lightest of the sick people? I know
There's
there's
an
a
Ekans and a bird.
What's the bird again? It's a big bird.
It's a Pidgey.
We take the snake and the bird. I know we have a giant Persian and a Torterra. Those aren't moving. Azareth will... Wait, who is the stronger of the two of us? Or we both have same strength?
We both have same strength, but I'm going to push the Persian over towards the Torterra. Maybe they can guard each other.
Okay. Azareth will pick up the Pidgey and dash out the door, falling afterwards. Skidding out into the rocks.
Well, once they get the Persian over by the Torterra, so they're all, snuggled together, I will grab the Ekans and start running after.
I got to roll good.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Yep, 10 or higher. So it begins. Everybody, go ahead and roll for me a Insight Survival Alert. Our favorite one.
Insight Survival Alert. 4.
Insight Survival Alert. Okay.
No.
I will have to borrow. I will have to borrow your dice here.
And I am spinning. Oh, okay.
Okay.
As you all, okay, who rolled above a 1?
I rolled a 1.
I haven't rolled yet. Was doing stream readers.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, Amos and Argus, you know it's about to happen.
Amos, Argus. Let's see. Yellow is Abby, just to know. Azareth rolled a 3.
Shade, you get to roll 2.
Azareth rolled a 3.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was Aviating who rolled the 2. I don't know because I rolled a 1.
2. Nice, good job, Shade.
Jet got a 3.
And so did Azareth. Azareth also got a 3.
Okay. Allow me to bring out my pen. Hopefully I can make it fat.
Could you promote me real quick, please?
Sure thing.
Oh, are we gonna meet Faye?
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
so
you.
As you all are kind of like gathering, going about your jobs, your duties, your everything like that, you hear what sounds like a zzz.
Oh.
And suddenly the ground right beside you just splits in half.
Oh.
Everything on that line has now been cut. Those of you who managed to catch it, you just suddenly saw almost like what appeared to be a whip of water lash out, and just as soon as it touched the ground, it almost went at an incredibly hyper speed and just cut through everything that you saw. You were able to barely just glimpse it with your eyes before it was gone.
Just know that somehow, some way, Alabaster Gleam is behind this.
Azareth will put down the Ekin and shout to everyone, as Avi did, but wrong words. Vector did and said, "Everyone, basement now! Dart, Amos, get Blaze off that thing now! We need to get cover!"
Way ahead of you.
Amos is just gonna not even hesitate and unhook Blaze and
For this one, for this figure right here, do we see like are they still looking up or?
No, they're fucking running.
Oh,
Everybody's
okay,
running.
okay. Everyone is running. Okay.
Yeah, Argus is booking it with his little Ekans. And he's gonna jump over
Everyone
the...
is just
jump
kind
over
of
the gap.
pouring this way.
Jump the gap.
Hey, what's the little guy's name again? It's
Gregory.
Gregory. Where's like Gregory? Which way direction is the house if he's around?
It's and he points this way.
This way. And there's no closer place.
Not that I know. I suppose you could always try the inn's basement, but it's usually full of junk. Or not the inn, but like the tavern.
Junk. That'll be a team decision. I'll dash over with the Ekans.
I thought
When
I
I
had
get-
Ekans.
Oh, I had Pidgey. I'm sorry. I had snake on my mind.
No, this is my snake. You can't have.
Vector's gonna do a quick head count and just kind of look. Wait, are we missing anyone?
Wait, Zim, are you done with Stream Raiders? Because action time. Like, action time.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We just need cover now.
Shade, as for you can see that all of the water has now been collected in the distance, and your heart just drops as you suddenly see a lash of it just whip out and hit the town. A great plume of dust breaking out.
Wait, what about the well?
You can see water is just streaming out of it endlessly.
Would the well be deep enough?
No, we don't need a well. The well isn't deep enough. We need cover. We need a ceiling.
Do you want to swim downward through the water going up?
I ain't climbing into that fluffing thing.
Hey, also, didn't Shade mention about them tampering with the well? Also, we can try Tavern Cellar or Gregory's Cellar now.
I say Gregory Cellar.
Let's
Okay, we move now.
I think
Oh yeah, we should run before that thing hits again.
we know
And
for a
every-
fact Gregory's will hold. He said so. Right, Gregory?
Yeah, at least that's what my great grandfather said when last this happened.
Best we got.
Yeah, haul last. We don't want to get no Mons cut in two.
Lost cut in two.
FYI, everybody, I have moved the coins to the right side of everybody's character sheet, and your rollers to the left side. Except for you, Taldarius, because you're off on your own.
Yeah.
So
Don't worry, Shade's used to being alone at this point.
All right, so we've untied Blaze. I'm assuming Doc has Ethan and.
Speaking of which, you all do hear a faint voice off in the distance. Shade?
Ethan turned into Shade.
Shade, what do you say?
What?
Say
What?
something. Anything.
Huh?
Hi. I
Okay,
don't,
you
I
off
don't
in
know
the
what,
distance you hear, hi!
I don't know what you're asking of me.
Right here. What?
I am like
What did you want, Great
miles
Voice
away
in
at this
Sky?
point.
No, you're not. You're right here in the village now. And speaking of which, change of the scene. So, Shade, you are carrying Jolene.
Yep. And I was also trying to do a couple of jokes to, wake the fairy type up like Bippin said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she seems out of it. She seems a little bit better, but it's hard to tell because, well, she is just a blob of white stuff.
All right. Well, here's the last attempt. Jolene, what's Azora's favorite type of joke? Dark humor. Huh. Nothing. Okay, yep, that's all. All right, you know what? Here, I can't keep carrying you like this. my bag's empty. You're going in the bag for now.
Okay.
And
She's in the bag.
Yep, and Shade's gonna go ahead and put Jolene in the bag for now. That way, if I have to dodge, you don't go flying.
All right. So what do? You've got the singular clearing ahead of you, or you could go back.
So for now, based on my suspicion that the Alabaster Gleam tree thing, whatever, really didn't want us going this direction and specifically stopped the Starlight member from going in this direction, I'm gonna go in this direction.
Okay. As you go in that direction, the forest itself seems to get almost like, what do you call it? Closer and closer together. The trees are practically suffocating against each other.
You have returned.
Brian the Wolf just resubscribed for 10 months. 10 months now? Oh boy.
Thank you for that resub, Brian, and your 10 months of support.
The trees themselves are growing darker and darker, and they almost seem to be suffocating against each other. The pathway forward is in fact getting a little tight, even for your smaller body.
Well, this isn't exactly a well-maintained path. All right, snowberries, snowberries.
Something
And he's
catches.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say he was gonna be swinging his, gaze back and forth, trying to like peer through the trees to find something.
It is not your eyes that actually catch on to something, it is your nose. You catch a hint of something that the old tortoise-like fellow had told you. Find the scent of burritos.
Pippin, why is your advice always like?
But you smell them. You smell burritos.
All right. Well, what direction is it coming from?
It is
Well, which
coming
way's
to
the
your
wind?
right.
All right. So the wind's going to my left then, so I'm gonna follow the headwind.
Okay. You go with the headwind. You are gonna have to make a couple of roll here.
Yep.
I'm gonna need a dexterity, survival, athletic. See if we can't squeeze you through those trees.
No. Okay. Almost did 1, 2. 1 success.
Okay, you're unable to squeeze through the tree.
Is something catching? Is like what's going on here?
Yeah, it's very thick thicket. The trees themselves almost seem to like they are kind of like grabbing at you, preventing you from being able to proceed forward.
Oh, this doesn't feel good. Well, my bag is on my side. So can I try to take off my bag to get just that little bit extra clearance?
Yes, you can.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and take off my bag and set it nicely against a tree and make sure not to drop the Jolene bag.
Okay.
And now I'm going to try again to squeeze through with my little bit extra clearance.
Okay, go ahead and make the same roll.
No.
Nope. It looks like even the Jolene bag is being caught on the various branches and twigs.
All right. Well, I tried being nice, Mr. Trees and Thicket, but can I go ahead and try and like feint attack it just to like power through with a move? Like just
You
try
can
and like
try to
bust my
power
way
through with a move, but you have a feeling that there will be consequences to that.
I know there could be consequences, but at this point, looking around, giant wall of tree and thicket, and I'm in a rush. And my only, backup is currently knocked the fuck out. So...
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to declare this solo so I get the bonus, boni. So that's... do I need to roll a hit roll or is it damage?
You need to roll a hit roll.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3.
This is to make sure you don't bonk into a tree.
I think that's the right number.
Yeah, you made it.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead and describe it to us.
Yeah, so I'm basically just going to be focusing on the power of the move, getting a running start like I tried to do with the door. And then I'm going to try and hope that this one goes a way lot better as I try and use, like, you know, the force and power of the move mixed with momentum of running to, like, just kind of get my way past the barrier, and I'm going to aim for where it's more thicket than tree. That way I'm not, like, bonking my head against a tree.
Okay. You power forward, and it almost feels like you're running through quicksand as you move forward steadily, just like you can feel that the move is working, but everything is just getting caught. Your fur, your paws, your bag. More than once you had to try to brush leaves out of your eyes as you continue pressing forward, until finally you pop out of the other side and into a green clearing. This
All right.
is where the smell of the burritos are strongest.
All right, red berries, red berries. Are there any red berries here?
You
No,
do
I'm
spot them.
Now I'm just getting
Go ahead.
visions of Shrek with Donkey running off into the forest looking for the, what was it? Purple flowers, red thorns or something?
Purple flower, red thorn. Or no, it's blue flower. It's blue flower, red thorns, but you know.
Blue flowers, red thorns. Blue flowers, red thorns. Blue flowers, red thorns.
Blue flower red thorns. That sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
As you pop out, you can see that in the center of the clearing, with a singular rock in the middle, is a collection, like an almost perfect circle of just these snow berries. They appear to be very delicate.
I don't trust the fact that it's sitting in the middle of nowhere like that, so I'm gonna take a single walk around, like, you know, skirting the edges, to see if there's, like, you know, any other traps or people trying to protect it, things like that.
Sounds good. If you all will give me just a second, I will be right back.
Okay.
Duke, 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 Duke,
Wait,
Duke,
while
Duke.
Rygon is not here, let's talk about how cute Rygon is.
Oh, Rygon's adorable.
It's only really fun to do it while he can actually hear, though, and unfortunately he can't. But he is very
Listen, doesn't
cute.
matter.
Rygon is a good friendship.
He's adorable and snuggable, and I can lay on top of him.
I died. Bleh.
Bleh.
Well, looks like we're recruiting a new player. Are we gonna get 4
Huh?
rock roughs?
We already have like 7.
We don't need any more rock rows.
More rock roughs.
No,
I
that's
mean, if
only
we
wonderful if...
Rough.
Yeah?
I mean, if we recruit a new player, I'm not gonna tell them no.
Why would we get another player, then?
We're already at
Because
8.
Yeah.
Aurum died.
Wait,
Bleh.
Aurum died? What?
Zargus was down.
Oh. Well, maybe hold off on recruiting new people. We do have 7 if we don't count the dead body. We don't need more.
Which
My
dead body? Are you
personal-
talking about Aurum or Jet? Argus or Jet? Which one's the dead body in this situation? Or Jolene?
Okay,
All of
chat,
them.
because you're all getting excited. We're not actually recruiting more players. We're just making a joke here. That said, we do have plans for a new Pokemon game starting on Wednesdays. So do join our Discord and keep an eye out for that. As for your question, Shadow Wolf, no, we would not allow fusion Pokemon.
We do allow custom typings.
Yes, we do
I
allow
have
custom
an awesome
typings.
fusion Pokemon though.
I'm Dart.
Hi, Dart.
Hi, Dart.
Hey, Dart, I'm Shade.
Fox, I don't know if I wasn't necessarily referring to you, Fox Warrior. I'm referring to Shadow Wolf and such, who seem to be getting very excited about a potential being able to play.
Okay, I'm back. I apologize.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You're cute.
Apparently all the Rockruffs died.
No, Aurum died.
We're all Rockruffs here.
The only non-Rockruff.
So you are looking around, and you are looking for traps, guards, all that jazz, right?
Yeah. Just basically signs that, like, hey, you know, the final line of defense sort of thing. All that jazz.
Okay.
What's jazz?
As you are walking around, go ahead and roll for me our favorite roll, Inside Survival Alert.
One success.
You spot nothing unusual.
Well, alright, I guess, you know, given that it did take out one of us, I guess the tree was kind of enough. Also, maybe I wasn't supposed to get here this way. Either way, I see some snowbirds. I'm gonna start going up to him and double check to make sure that it matches the description.
Okay. You double check. It does match the description. These are the very things that you need. But again, you do have that feeling in the back of your head. The patch is just a little bit too circular. The rock is just looking a little bit too odd. And the clearing is just, well, I mean, it's free of debris and like small trees or anything really.
Yeah, I mean, this don't feel right, but snatch and grab. I'm gonna try like quickly digging up like underneath the snowberry, so that way I can kind of like dig down and like just try and grab it like roots and all clump of earth.
Okay. As you begin to dig, you hear a voice.
Hey, what are you doing to my snowberries?
And as you obviously pause at the voice, you can see a singular eye open on the rock. And a little hand that pops out with a burrito. And it eats it. Not the eye, the rock.
So, couple friends of mine really need it. Would you happen to know a Bippin?
Bippin? You one of his?
Well, define... Because that sounds possessive right there. I'm technically an associate.
Oh, I see. I hate him. That means I hate you.
Would it put you in a good mood to know that he's currently poisoned?
Very much so, very much so.
Pulls out another burrito and he eats it.
All right, Mr. Associate. What do you want for the snowberry?
First of all, how are you getting those burritos? Because, I don't know, I guess I could try and get you more of those?
I got plenty. They're my favorite snack, after all.
I see that. So what else do you like?
Pissing off Bippin and Associates?
Alright, and besides Bippin, is there anyone you don't like in particular?
I suppose I don't like, That one fellow that came through here with the white robes and the purple trim, I don't like him very much. Had to chase him off. He was too weak.
So, funny thing that, you see, I hate them a lot too. And me getting this snowberry is really gonna mess up their entire month. So, if you give me a snowberry, let me take one. I promise you that I will do everything in my power to ruin those people's day, week, and month.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you take it for a favor.
Okay, so I'll happily do you a favor as long as it doesn't involve hurting Bippin. I will do literally anything else.
I won't hurt Bippin.
Well, I'm not worried about you hurting Bippin. I'm worried about you making me hurt Bippin.
Oh, like I said, Bippin won't be hurt by this at all.
Okay, what's the favor then?
That'll be for you to find out. I will be coming in exactly 1 day. If you aren't in town on that day, I can't promise what's going to happen to the town.
Okay, so, funny thing, the people in the white and purple robes are just outside of town, and so I may not be exactly in town if I'm messing up their day.
You know what I mean. Be
Okay.
by the tavern 1 day. That's it. You can take your snowberry now. And let me tell you what. Don't fuck this up.
Don't
Pulls out
worry.
another burrito and eats it.
I'm gonna mess up their day, I promise. Day,
I
week,
don't
and
doubt
month.
that at all. You dark types always have a tendency to do that.
Well, yes, and I'm feeling very spiteful right now. They just kept me locked up, starving for a very long time. And so, yeah, they're getting it. Thank you for the snowberry. Have a nice day. Let me know if you need any more burritos. I'm gonna get going.
Rightio. I'll be catching you later.
Yeah, see you
All
tomorrow.
right.
And then scampering off.
All right. So you can get back to the to that hole essentially you made in the thicket, or you can try to find another way out if you wish.
I'll make a cursory glance on other ways out, but that's just more out of like curiosity than anything.
Okay. You do actually see a path out.
All right, cool. I still got to go back and get Jolene anyway, so I'm gonna go back through my main hole.
He goes back and there's a Lickitung there slurping up Jolene.
Hey, no, bad.
Nah, you're able to find Jolene in your bag just fine, exactly where you left them. But you do feel this tugging sensation, almost as if like somebody is trying to like slurp you up. It's a weird feeling, but you stay planted on the ground.
All right, well, can't say I've ever felt this before. Hey, Jolene, you don't mind having a bit of a roommate, right? Right. And I'm gonna like carefully put the snowberry in the bag. Right next
And
to
there goes Jolene.
Oh.
Jolene controls the
Wait,
water.
what?
Jolene is liquid.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh
no. Oh no.
Bye, Jolene.
Bye.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly try and like get the bag, like turn the bag upside down and like try and snatch Jolene with that, get her back in. I have literally no better options. I have a strap and a dream.
Go ahead, roll me a dexterity. Actually, let's see. This is going to be a dexterity fight athletic.
We believe in the power of shade.
I got 2 success.
You are just barely able to re-envelop Jolie before she gets too far out.
And you're not opening until whatever this is over. Okay, I gotta get back.
It would have been so bad if he came back to our group and Jolene wasn't with him.
But think of how awesome it would be if Jolene went into the water bottle or water bubble and was able to control it and then just nuke the Alabaster Gleam.
Who knows?
We'll
All
never
I know
know
is that Lyndon's probably cursing the fact that they're not here right now.
Absolutely, because they have work tomorrow, and it's...
Aw, poor Jolene.
Very sad.
We're gonna
Alright.
need lots of notes for Jolene.
Oh,
I'm gonna try and double time it back to the town. Because whatever this is patentedly the not good.
Okay. As you are approaching the town, that is when you see the whip suddenly just like smash down into the ground. And clearly you can see it cut in half a couple of buildings and just a line drawn where it was. And
I
a little
just
off in
know
the
that
distance,
somehow
you can see your comrades.
I just know that somehow, some way, Alabaster Gleam is responsible.
Anyway, this is the moment when you say hi because you see them all.
Oh, well, okay, well. I mean, I didn't know what you wanted from me. You were just like, hey, say something. So I was like, hi?
So there
Okay.
you go.
Wait, where? Okay, first off, where's location of Shade?
I would have come from over here.
Uh-oh, they're Seda, no!
No.
No, Seda.
Data!
No, Seda.
You're coming from this tree where you all initially climbed up and down.
Also, I literally don't know these people, so that's also a problem. Because I've never met them.
Do we not have an icon for Shade?
No, we do. Here, I'll just grab it.
You've met Blaze.
I've met Blaze.
And
yes.
Blaze is with us.
Yes, but
Yeah,
there's also a giant pack of Pokemon moving.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
you have at
Blaze,
least
Doc, and Ethan.
You have at least heard most of the voices, though.
You've heard voices, and Jolene probably gave you some base descriptions as well as her interpretations of them as you all walked into the forest.
Look for the scaredy cat dinosaur.
So
If
you
you
probably
say boo and
hearing.
he hides, it's the right one.
You're probably hearing commotion of like moving, like move. We're finding basement now. So yeah, we can't interact yet. You're all the way over there.
Uh-oh!
Shade, you're all the way over there.
Time for me to spin my arrow. Another whip comes down, and you all, as you are moving away, you can see it cleanly split the inn/tavern in half. The little bowls, the little bowl that had been knocked over, just kind of like clatters on the ground, and if any of you are paying especially close attention, you can see one of the little Oran berries just kind of like go bling as it splits in half.
Oh, look,
Is
freshly
the-
cut.
Oh, the ones that are all over the ground?
Yeah, the ones that are all over the ground.
Did it shorten a single leg of the knocked over table?
It cut a couple of the tables.
Okay.
Well, now they're stealing my job, so I'm not liking that.
Alrighty. So for this next one, I am going to need somebody, mostly because I don't actually have a map for this next section. I'm going to need each of you to roll a 1d6.
Each of us? Okay.
Yep. And that includes you, Shade.
Okay, I'm just getting back in. My internet just briefly dropped there.
Yay, yay.
You just need
Four,
you just need to roll 1d6.
I'm not liking the position of where my roller is, mostly because it's gonna get scuffed. I got a 3.
Got a 2.
Okay.
What do you mean it's gonna get scalped?
I said not scalped, it's scuffed rolls.
I rolled a 3 also. Is there anything of note that I need to record down from the last, like, 3 minutes?
The inn got split in half.
Inn got split in half.
Oh, boy.
I'm over by the tree now.
It shortened the leg of lots of tables.
I fixed it,
Barney.
never mind. Sorry, I should not have made a fuss
What am I
about it.
rolling again?
D6.
Just one.
D6.
Just one. Were you here for Jolene starting to float out of the bag?
Yes, basically the last that I got was just hearing Shay say, I'm pretty sure Alabaster Gleam is behind this.
Oh yeah, I was just repeating my earlier line to show timeline caught up.
Okay. Those of you who rolled even, you're good. Those of you who rolled odd, you're not good.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no!
You gotta dodge. So give me a dodge.
That is Dex Fight Evasion, correct?
Dex fight invasion. If you can roll yourself a 2 or higher, you're okay.
Okay. Dex Fight Evasion. What's my Dex? Dex Fight. Wonderful. Oh.
Remember, people, you can declare single action to get 2 bonus die.
Not for this one, I'm afraid.
Oh, not for this one? Okay. Does it not count as combat?
This is a Rygon special.
Yep, Rygon special. And Azareth, you're good. Dart and Amos, you're not. As you all are kind of moving together as a group, trying to find this house as being led by Gregory, lots of some panic Pokemon, some of them shuffling into their own like little bits of cover here or there, stuff like that. You can see another water whip just suddenly explode out of the sky, almost like it cleaves a cloud in two as it rains down. Zing! Amos and Dart, unfortunately, you're not quick enough. And both of you get slightly grazed by this thing as you are trying to move. Take 1 damage.
Oh, I thought you were going to cut them in half.
No.
Oh, that's too much right now.
No, there's just a little slab of meat from them on the ground now.
Ow. Just like Amos just walking like, guys, I don't feel so good. Flop, flop. All right, start your search. Gregory's led you to the area. You've got about 5 buildings around you. You've got 1 building that has some tanks by it. You've got another building that looks like it has some big construction boxes. You've got another building that looks like it has about 4 coffins in front. You've got a 4th building that looks like it has a straw roof. And finally, you've got a 5th building that looks like it is made out of brick and mortar, almost like it's meant to contain a strong fire.
It's the one of the tanks, right? Because Gregory's mom is the brewer.
That's what I'm guessing as well.
Gregory, what's your mom's name again?
Mom?
Oh.
Simmers. This Simmers.
Yeah, Miss Shimmers.
Miss Shimmers? Oh, damn, we don't know the first name. Because I have a feeling it's the Flow House with all the mail in it. But I might be wrong.
The house is the one with the tanks, right?
Yeah, I think that's her house. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a little bit.
Well, one way to find out.
I would say it's either the tanks or the one that looks like it contains heat.
I say we try the tanks.
I would say let's not idle too long.
Let's go together. Go together. Go. and they dash off.
Let's make like a Trevenant and Leaf.
What's a Trevenant?
Make like a Trevenant and Leafeon.
What?
And you all guess correctly. As you go inside of the building, you can see what appears to be a variety of different pipes extending onto the walls, as well as the sound of bubbling brews. Nobody appears to be inside, but you catch a whiff of what smells to be like some kind of a strong alcoholic drink. This way, guys. It's right over here.
I thought you hadn't been here in a while. Still following him though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember. It's right here, and he kind of like sets down right beside a squarish hole in the floor, or not by a squarish hole, but like a squarish door that's set in the floor.
Yeah. We're gonna open the door and go down.
Okay.
Before the water comes down and kills us all.
All right. What's the order?
Gregory first. Argus is coming down if a sick, and then I don't know about the others.
I might
Dart's gonna stay behind and make sure everyone gets down.
take it. Stop reading my mic. I was about to say I was going to be the last to make sure everyone made it through.
As it's me in front of them.
Dart's gonna hold one side of the door and just be like, okay, everyone down.
Okay.
Or two rock
Zim?
He'll go. Jet will go in right before before Dart and Vector.
I'll go second last.
Okay. Shade.
I was just gonna be like running to catch up because I'm like an entire screen away.
Yeah, he didn't put himself over here.
Well, you guys did hear the hi. Yes, that's canonical.
Yes, it's canonical, but sorry, positioning.
To be fair, they don't. The only one who knows me by sight is like Blaze and Doc, and I don't know if they would look over by just like a random hi.
So are you running from me? Come back here!
Look, if you're gonna do so, at least just tell me what it's for, not just say something.
Why? What's the fun in that?
Because it leads to dopey shit like this.
It was very fun dopey shit though.
The entire town is getting cut in half. Just say hi.
Yeah, like I don't. He's just like say something real quick, and I don't know what it's for. In my mind, I'm miles away, so I'm just like, hi. I don't know.
Hello, Pebble.
Well, it's just like you got taken by a moment of panic, and that's all you could think of. All right. So a few of the other villagers have followed, as well as some of the white robes. They also knew that this place had had safety, and so they all kind of are like coming down as well. Whoops. Delete that one.
First off, Shade, put your token over here. Thank you. My God, he's small.
Well, yeah, because I had to quickly. I don't know where mine is on this actual board, so I had to quickly grab the one off my character
Found
sheet.
it.
Oh my
it's
God,
character
he's so
sheet size.
adorable. I'm putting him in my bag.
I'm not actually that small. It was just because it was a quick copy paste.
Nope. You are now canonically tiny enough to fit in my bag.
Anyway, another line of water suddenly splits through the building, and it just kind of hurries you all up. Shade?
Go on.
Yep.
You have been following behind the procession, I would imagine.
Yep.
And you are the very last one to go into the hole. However, you got to give me one more athletics check before you do to avoid the falling debris. So, same thing, dexterity, survival, athletic.
One.
You are unsuccessful.
In that
As
case, real quick, can I make sure to try to cushion my bag over everything else?
Sure. Yeah. You can do the final heroic gesture before you perish.
If it was a parish check, then I feel like I would have been able to allow to use evasion.
No.
This is probably
As you all are kind of shuffling in and the roof suddenly splits, you all just kind of hear I would imagine some kind of a sound, a grunt. What do you say, Shade? What do you do when a beam of wood hits you?
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good.
You all hear that
Okay.
that's not good behind you. And some of you can turn to see, and you see a Zorua pinned by a piece of wood, and he's trying to desperately push his bag forward.
Absolutely. Dash back over to help.
I'm setting the Ekans down and going to help.
Actually, I'm assuming it's a narrow steps down, so probably the three easily able to get would be Dart, Vector, and Jet, and then whoever was behind that.
That is correct. Well, everyone is in front of you guys because you stated that you were holding off. So none of the rest of you actually see that. I would imagine only Jet and Dart see it, or Jet and Vector.
Dart and Vector.
Dart and Vector.
Well, you got the rock. You knew it was rock wrath.
So those of you who are still outside, you got to hear that, and you can do something. The roof is splitting apart, though. It's starting to crumble. What do you do?
You run to the Zora and try to get the wood off.
Yep, I'm gonna go and help.
Okay, roll me
As I see people, good. I was gonna say, as I see people run, I'm gonna tell them to be careful with the bag. It's got something delicate in it.
We're getting you all in there.
Okay, that's nice. Appreciate it. Careful with the bag.
Noted. Let's get this off you.
Come on. We'll lift together. Ready? 1.
Ready.
2. 3.
Okay, both of you roll me a strength survival athletic.
Athletic. Survival athletic.
I am weak. I am so weak.
Oh my god.
I am weak too, but we'll see what we get.
Puppy powers.
You just barely managed to move the little piece of wood, and it's a tiny piece. It's small. It's not even a log. It's half a log. No, it's a quarter of a log. Anyway, both of you are pathetic, but you do move the piece of wood off of them.
Not have my normal padding to deal with this.
Introductions later. Let's go.
Into the shower.
All right, bag, grabbing bag.
And the door closes behind both of you, and the sounds of chaos reigns outside. But you are all safe.
Is everyone here? I count 1. Let's see. Amos, Dart, Argus, Vector, Jet. Still missing Jolene, and
Here you go. I'm gonna open up the bag. Jolene's here. Don't worry.
Jolene's here, and familiar voice. Oh, familiar voice.
Jolene immediately floats to the top of the cellar.
I just wanted to show it off because it's I've got the flap thing. I just wanted to open it and show it real quick, not take the whole thing off. I knew this was gonna happen.
You didn't specify.
I didn't think I needed to because I in character already knew what would happen.
What can I say? I'm a literal kind of guy.
Okay, is Jolene on the ceiling?
He's literally a guy.
If Jolene isn't on the ceiling, then at least a few of her like little like bubbles of her white stuff do float up and kind of press against the ceiling.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with the bubblies.
Oh. Hi. We also have some other villagers here. Okay, we're all safe.
I wouldn't be
Where's
so
Blazing Doc?
sure.
They're here too, right? Is Blazing Doc here?
Yes.
Cool. We also have the Pidgey and the Ekans.
And
Mhm.
Ethan.
And Ethan. Okay. Now what?
Do Miss Shimmers happen to be here?
Miss Shimmers is not there as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Oh, I wonder where she is.
Okay, so
Jet is
got
going...
the item, but we do need Miss Shivers to actually use it for anything.
You got an item? What? Who are you?
Hey, yeah, me and Jolene, we went out to get the berries needed.
Oh, you're the shade guy. I was
Yeah,
wondering
hi,
why you
Shade.
had Jolene.
I feel like I just lost an amazing opportunity to mess with you all. Like I just like somehow found her.
Why would you do that?
Because it'd be funny.
Well,
Okay.
I since we're down here, I think some more while we bide the time, some formal introductions are in order.
Yes, hi. I'm Shade. I've been the one that's been prisoner here for quite a while. No longer a prisoner.
I'm Argus. I got stabbed. By your prisoner guard guy.
So you were the voice behind the door.
Yeah, hi.
I wasn't sure if you were just a door or what. Everything here is weird.
Dart's gonna bring a paw to his face.
No, I've never heard of a door, but I did just fight a tree.
I do have a friend that's a door. His name is Door.
Okay, but like, I just want to make it clear that I literally just had to fight a tree a little bit ago. That's what happened to Jolene. The tree fought back.
Okay, moving on. Shade, pleasure to meet you. My name is Dart.
And hi, I'm Vector. Kind of new to this whole thing, so yeah.
So quick question, Ryan.
What's up?
Does Vector have a pin like the rest of the people do where it says they're Starlight?
That depends. Did anyone else take off their badge?
I don't think I was actually given.
No. So
Vector
no,
doesn't have one.
Dart and Vector don't have one. Jet took his off.
Argus has his on his bag.
Okay,
Azra
so
probably
Yeah, go
would have
ahead.
taken his off.
So I'm seeing one pin, but are all of you Starlight expeditions or?
Yeah, we're new.
It's
We got
It's complicated.
Yeah.
we got a crystal thing and they let us in.
Cool. Would you happen to know anybody called Edge?
Yes.
Edge?
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Because I've been meaning to go to Starlight because apparently same evolutionary line, technical term, don't remember. Need to talk to Edge to actually figure out the things that I can do.
Well, he disappeared when Starlight started taking over.
What, Starlight? But he's a part of Starlight. That's what the others said.
You know that he disappeared when Alabaster Gleam started taking over.
Wait. Back up. So, Alabaster Gleam the assholes out there have also taken completely over Starlight, like guild and all.
Good, Zim.
I was trying to bring this up for a few minutes now and flip my coin, but Jet's going to be pointing at the Alabaster Gleam members that came down with us.
Oh, don't worry, they're white robes. They don't matter.
It's still something we
Slowly
should
lifts her
be
up.
concerned about.
What do you guys mean took over Starlight?
You guys are villagers from here, aren't you?
Well, yeah. They asked
Did it
us
ever-
to help, and we wanted to help.
Did it ever strike you as weird that the poisoning only happened after they showed up?
What are you talking about? People fell asleep before they got here.
That's not what Shade said.
To clarify, I said I saw a couple people that messed with the well that were in Alabaster Gleam robes. Then they showed up in force after.
So, yes, it is as we said. Alabaster Gleam has taken over Starlight and done something to our guild. Only Jet saw what happened.
They are doing a ritual to keep the guildmaster down. It's something to keep sleeping gods down.
That sounds like some of that church stuff.
It really does.
No, I mean literally. I mean the church that's next to the tavern inn. I mean, it literally sounds like the kind of church stuff they would talk about.
Oh.
They
Legendary this, legendary that. Showed up to a couple of them. Really boring stuff. Anyway. All of Starlight.
All of it. They already told us that it was hard to get Dart in. That they had to be bribed to let him in because he was weak. Or when he was weak.
They had all of Starlight under quarantine when I was brought in. But Dart's gonna kind of tilt his head a little bit. But I do have to ask your way you worded things.
Go ahead.
Repeat why you wanted to seek out Edge.
Yeah. So, Jack and Shade's gonna go ahead and like motion towards the still sick, passed out bird over there. Was teaching me a bunch of things. Because kind of needed some help. Didn't really know what was going on. The four of them kind of took me, for Jack, quite literally, kind of under his wing, and told me about how they had like a little bit of contact with the Starlight Guild at times, and that it's a bit hard because of infrastructure problems. I think is what he said. Basically, like a lot of flooding makes it hard sometimes. And that there is the Vice Guildmaster, whatever the term is, I don't remember.
Dart's going to interject. You're not from around here, are you?
No. But yeah, so Jack basically said that the Vice Guildmaster of Starlight was the same evolutionary line as me. And then he used a bunch of technical terms, which I don't remember. And basically, if I want to learn how to actually properly use my ability, I can... I kind of need to talk to him about it. Because tried a lot, it's very hard to use, so yeah. I was going to be able to go in a few weeks, but then this whole mess with Alabaster Gleam happened, and
Dart's going to take a cursory kind of glance at the others and just kind of see who else is like potentially going on his line of thinking.
Azure thinks he's following. Oh, a couple weeks ago. That's when this all started, yeah.
well, yeah, but I was getting plenty of instruction before that. That's why I was about to leave. Like, you know, I probably would have been leaving around now, actually. But
How long were you here, we may ask?
oh, somewhere north of a month or so. Got about a good week of training in. Then after that, it's been lockup.
A week.
Vector's going to look at Dart, and he's gonna look down. Vector's gonna look down to his paws, and then back up to Shade. That's pretty much it.
Oh, I know. I wasn't going to say something, and like Dart's going to just say like, Shade, did you just wake up?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that's kind of what you do in the morning.
I mean, before then.
Like, or you just kind of like, I guess it's more or less of, are you familiar with everything?
Well, I mean, I just met you, so I wouldn't be familiar. I don't know what you're trying to ask me. I feel like you're trying to ask some sort of heavy question, and you're trying to like couch it, and I don't know what you're asking.
Are you from a different world?
Dart's going to immediately facepalm again.
Do you remember being someone else?
Vaguely, yes. And that's actually why, even though I tried telling everyone here what was going on, none of them believed me.
Welcome to the club.
I was kind of seen as like a charity case kook kind of guy, and so no one wanted to listen to me.
Dart moving his paw from the face paw at Argus's comment to, like, you know, outward paw gesturing, like, thank you, someone gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did my comment deserve a facepalm? I just said it bluntly to the point.
I don't think I'm from another. That's a different point. Long story short, Shade here seems to be like us, and we need to stop Alabaster Gleam.
Dart's gonna just walk closer to Shade and just be like, about 2 weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of a river.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. You're steel type, right? You don't do too well with swimming.
Oh, I do not. I desperately paddled myself to shore and was brought to Starlight. Thing is, that I don't remember anything before that. And when I woke up, everything felt unfamiliar.
And even for me, as I kind of step up as well, just yesterday, I fell from the sky. And I don't know what I am. And I still don't know what I am.
Well, not a bird.
Well, yeah, but we do. I got a bird here. There's Jack. But yeah, so I woke up about a month ago in the middle of like, I think it was like a wild Pokemon attack. Don't know. Was super disoriented. But you know, the four of them kind of like really helped bail me out of that. You got Raphael and Jack here. Yeah, you know what? Bippin probably would have been too large to move.
Bippin is...
Torterra, big one. turtle tree.
Tree. Okay. That's a tortera.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
Also,
couldn't
if
bring
he
them in.
starts giving you advice, you should probably listen, but he also is really bad at doing it. Hey, look, all I'm saying is that if you want good advice, probably talk to Jack. If you want obscure advice that is somehow right in the weirdest way, talk to Bippin.
Well, we would, but they're still out cold.
We were able to
Yes.
bring your snake friend and your burb friend.
Yeah, so the bird is Jack and the other one's Raphael. And so, good news. Once we get to Miss Shimmer's, I have the cure. I had to do a trade for it, but I have the cure.
We're
Shimmer.
technically in her basement.
Shimmer. Is
Well,
Gregory.
Look. Yes, I know we're in her basement, but I'm not seeing her here. And I don't know how to make potions.
Oh, if I had to take a guess, she's probably over at the camp right now looking for me. Since I didn't get to come home on time, I always came home to give her some food.
Oh, I
Okay.
hope she's not sick.
And Dart's gonna be like, oh, fluff.
Oh no.
Wait. Miss. Oh no.
What? I mean, it's not good that she's at the Alabaster Gleam camp right now, but she'll come back. This isn't an oh no.
No,
The water thingy.
The oh no. Dart just gonna make a vague gesture to Gregory.
Well, yeah,
he's kind of like nodding, like, "Oh yeah, you fucked up."
I mean, yeah, that's Gregory. I mean, look, I know, no offense, Gregory, but I don't see the problem relating to Gregory here.
The problem is how Gregory came here.
Well, yeah, he ran like, flew,
Before that,
ran like the rest of you.
We, those two, and I'm pointing at Jet and Dart.
We, like, Jet and I here, we're trying to figure out what was going on with the Alabaster Gleam, and we saw, our dear acquaintance Gregory here flying away, and in our panicked worries, we captured Gregory and brought him back to the town for questioning.
Okay, yeah, that's not good.
It wasn't the brightest of questioning. It was between me and Argus that calmed them down, and we did nice words instead of mean words.
Yeah, okay, so apparently, because this is the kind of deal that I'm making all day. Gregory, you know what I do, you know how I am. Is there anyone you don't like that, can make this, that I can make this right, like, in a little bit of a way? At least until after your mom does the snowberry thing, because I have the cure for what's going on with the sickness. I have it.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Yeah. So, something called a snowberry. Bippin was talking about it when we first discovered it. I've been locked up with them, and no one's listening to me, but I have the cure, according to Bippin. And I don't know about you, but Bippin kind of knows his stuff, even if he's weird.
Yeah, I definitely would trust Bippin. Definitely I'd trust him over you anyway.
Yeah, look, again, I don't know this whole medicine stuff. Bippin knows all that. He told me to get this. I have it. And we need to have your mom, work on it, and then we can give it to the sick people, and they'll be fine. What will it take to get you to forget to have a certain conversation with your mom until after this is resolved?
He kind of like breathes deeply as he thinks for a second. 50 gold pieces.
Gregory, you know I'm broke.
I know you're
I got
broke,
here a month ago.
but he kind of like nods over to them. But they might not be.
I've got.
Oh, we are very
I'm
broke.
just opening. I'm just opening my bag and poking through. I've got 1, 2, 4, 8. I have 10.
I'll take it.
So many.
So he kind of like snatches the 10 gold coins and he's just like, pretty.
Shade's gonna like lean over and go, look, this is a bit of an extreme circumstance. Just let him have it.
All right, I promise I won't say anything to Mom. But y'all are still meanies, and I don't like you.
Not all of us are meanies.
No, I'm totally mean.
Oh.
Like, Gregory, like, apologize what happened. We're only just trying to make things right for Oran Grove and for Starlight, so I'm hoping our future actions can remedy the past.
I guess we'll find out.
Argus
There's
is
a
just
lot
sitting
wrong
there.
with the world, but it might just you guys just might be the people who need to take care of that kind of things. Just please don't stuff me in another barrel.
You stuffed him in a barrel?
There were other members of the Alabaster Gleam we were trying to hide him from.
We were trying to keep him hidden from the others because we were not aware that he was a local or anything. As far as we were aware, everyone here from Alabaster Gleam came here as a group, not that they recruited locals.
And Dart's gonna facepalm, and in the heat of the moment, it was the stealthier option.
Argus is just sitting there, like, sad and depressed now, staring at his empty bag.
Asheville looks through the, like, well, now we got this. What about, those folks? He points, motions over to the, Ripe Road villagers.
No, again, they're white robes. They don't know anything. It's fine.
But surely it'd be best to have more folks understanding of the situation on our side.
Well, that's true, but look, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I've been yelling their ears off about this for like 3 weeks now, and at this point, I'm over it. I have the cure. We've made a deal. Miss Shimmers can look at it. So if you want to try and convince them, you can go right ahead. I was planning on trying it one last time to make a big distraction and having Jolene sneak back to you guys with the snowberry while I just kind of yelled in the town center and some Alabaster Gleam people came to shut me up. Instead we're here. So if you guys want to try, you can. But I'm not.
Cool. So long story short, Alabaster Gleam is bad. We have the cure. They don't have the cure. We're gonna fix the town because they're not making anyone better.
Also, I'm not sick. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
You've never been sick. You sound fine. I almost wanted to bash down the door, but I didn't.
Okay, look. I may not sound sick, but I have been living off of Oran berries for the past 3 weeks. I am not fine. I am running right now on pure adrenaline, and the fact that this is the only chance I've gotten in the past 3 weeks.
Okay, then let's...
And cut. We are a little past our 11 o'clock. This is our break time. So, as much as I would very much like you all to continue your conversation, this is your chance to get up, stretch, get some water, get some food, whatever you got to do before we continue.
Alrighty.
I need food.
So, we'll be
I haven't
back in
eaten all day.
about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'll see you all then.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Also, huzzah! I'm finally getting to interact with more people than Lyndon.
Yay! Congratulations! We
Yeah,
should
and
celebrate. I'm pulling out
as
the
soon as you
champagne.
got to as soon as you get to interact with someone other than Lyndon, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna let Lyndon go off into the sky.
Lyndon's
the
not here.
arms of the angels fly away or far away from here. There you go. All right.
Call
Well,
Anyways, I'm gonna
I'm gonna put on some music.
So I just do love, like, Dart going through a very subtle line of questioning to, like, reveal some, like, probably information that Shade probably is, like, used to hiding at this point, and Argus just like, you
Are you
weird like us?
from a different universe?
Okay, look, all I'm gonna say is that, like, Shade already kind of, like, outed himself about that to, like, the entire town. And the whole thing was just like, oh, this poor confused Pokemon. I'm glad that, he's getting the help he needs. And so at this point, he's just like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Until he finds out, well, there are others like him.
Yeah, but again, like, he doesn't have, like, an explanation or anything about why this is a big deal, so he's just like, oh, cool.
It's fine.
Anyways, where's Edge?
It's like, wait, you
Good question.
know about Edge?
Yeah, I can try to use my ability. It probably won't go very well.
It's fine. We have us, we have the villagers, we have Doc, we have Blaze, we have Ethan. We're fine.
Yeah. In case of curious, this is part of the reason, though, why, my character would have technically had a hook in either way, because, he eventually would have made his way to Starlight. And this is also why he's, like, explicitly going to go with you guys after this, because he does need to actually go and talk to Edge.
Well, that's good.
We need to find Edge, so this is perfect.
Yeah.
We'll use you to sniff him out.
Here's my theory. Edge is gonna show up when, in our most dire hour.
So wait, does this mean Edge is also a Rockruff?
God fucking damn it, I'm leaving.
I'm with you there, RZ. By the way, I like how at this point it's just ZGF canon that, like, every Zora and Zorak needs to have, like, le dark edgy name. Because so far we have Edge, Shade, and Midnight. So at this point, I guess it's just ZGF canon.
Oh, who's Midnight?
It's a Fry game.
Oh,
The Friday Row game. I just think it's funny that this is
too far
apparently
away
canon.
from your microphone for you to come through. Or too far away from your computer.
I need muscles.
Really?
I'm not strong enough. My burritos came packaged.
You having to open
with,
up a jar?
No, it's burritos.
He does that occasionally as well, the jar thing. But no, lately he's been having me break apart his burritos because they are clumped up in a frozen block.
And I'm weak.
Burritos.
I mean, why not just thaw them if they're frozen?
That
They're not quite as good.
Or I mean, when you're in the kitchen or dining room, you're not coming through. He's trying to talk to you guys still, but yeah.
Alright, so how are you all enjoying the session so far?
He said he doesn't thaw them because he wants to eat them now. And
Hello.
the session's interesting.
Hey.
I'm trying to figure out the puzzle of how to actually, like, I'm fairly certain that what we need to do is somehow rally the villagers to help us drive out
Or we
Alabaster
can blow
Gleam.
up the water things.
So I do agree with rallying the villagers. Shade specifically is like been there, done that, tried it.
I think rallying them comes after we start curing them. Because if we prove we have the cure, then they'll join us.
I concur.
Especially
That's
if we
where
can get,
Shade's at.
if we get Bippin on our side, we win. If he survived. If not, we still have the snake in the burp. Bippin might be dead. Well, he is ground, so he could soak up the water, but also he might be half a turtle. Why is Bippin not Raphael? You should have had the turtle named Raphael.
Because I ain't the stereotype.
I ain't you a stereotype.
I mean, if you really want, I have Michelangelo, like 8 feet from me.
Wait, you have a turtle Michelangelo?
No, I have a cat named Michelangelo.
Wrong species.
Why
And-
didn't you call him Michelangelo?
Okay, so no, basically,
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo.
we adopted two cats when they were kittens. 2 brothers. Their markings look like little masks, so we named them Leonardo and Michelangelo.
Aw, that's cute.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh.
So,
We
Avi,
had-
Seda, how are you two doing in the session? Both of you feeling okay?
I'm sorry?
How are you both feeling in the session? You both doing okay? Hello?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm still kind of like, I'd say like 85%. Partially just due to like the, while I've been negative for a week, still, that long COVID recovery, and also just kind of like getting the feel of things since we've been off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, we've been off for 3 weeks.
No, I definitely hear that.
Yeah. And I'm
Also,
living up being able to interact with everyone.
Oh, I bet. Are y'all enjoying the brownie surprise?
I wish I had actual brownies.
I want brownies now.
Yeah.
Where can I get brownies?
I wish Jolene got to join in the brownie surprise and became giant water mech and destroyed the Alabaster Gleam.
It'd be
It's
really
kind of
hilarious.
rude. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, it'd be really hilarious if it all came from, no, I'm gonna eat this brownie and create this giant water bubble that can cut things.
That's what I rolled on the weather table. That was the surprise. I was gonna do a roll on the weather table since I hadn't done that in a while.
It kind of ruined what I had planned, but it's still fun, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll present opportunities and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, no, but
Honestly-
yeah, like, at least I got to espouse, like, in an offhanded manner what the plan actually was. So, it still came up.
My plate is hotter than my burritos. I think my plate is not meant for microwaves.
I think you're about to get the Hot Pocket experience of it being lava hot on the outside and ice cold in the middle.
I know. I actually have to double check my burritos every time because I have had some where it's so hot, and then there's ice cubes in it.
Aurum, you should try cooking them in the air fryer. Or at least the ones I get come with instructions for the air fryer, and it turns out so good.
Mine don't have instructions for the air fryer.
Use the air
Well, it's
fryer.
not too
Air
hard.
fryers are wonderful.
I
Yeah, just
stuck with
air
the air
fryer's
fryer.
just like 2 minutes in the air fryer and you're good.
No, not 2 minutes. For mine, it's 380 in the air fryer, 6 minutes, flip them, another 6 minutes.
Guys, I have bad news.
What's up?
The party is a bunch of primitives because we clearly don't own air fryers.
I have an air fryer.
No, I mean the party. Like,
Um,
in game, we're primitives because we don't have air fryers.
What's an air fryer?
Yeah, we do.
Why would you
The
want to fry?
Charizard that's breathing.
We have an air fryer. His name is Amos.
That's an air fryer?
Yeah.
I just know about roasting meat.
He fries the air and buildings and everything else.
That's oh, okay.
I mean, it's fried.
Also, I am cat posting and media sharing.
Well, I gotta see this now.
I have to look now.
Show me the cat posting. Oh, the kitty.
Kitty, kitty, cat, kitty, kitty, cat. Kitty, kitty, cat, cat, kitty, cat.
Whoa, the top one looks amazing.
I miss him.
Media sharing is... There it is. Kitty! Oh, he's got a plushie! That's adorable. My cat won't let me snuggle with plushies, because she attacks them. She gets jealous. I actually can't have one of my favorite plushies out anymore. I had a plush that my ex got for me, and I carried that thing everywhere. So my cat absolutely despised it, and would attack it on sight. It was honestly hilarious.
Who fell asleep?
Wernie! Wernie!
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no. The
Winnable!
Amos. Don't sneeze in your sleep. You'll blow us all up.
Hey,
Amos.
Hey, question, Zim. Is there a place on this server where I can do some really crazy soundboard things?
One of the channels down below? Why?
Because I was thinking of playing some really crazy stuff to wake him up.
Ah.
I was just planning on calling him through Discord, but that works.
Oh, Telegram.
Yeah, but, yeah, you know.
Alright.
Why don't you just go to his house and, like, boop him on the snoot?
I'll take him to the comment room. I'll be back, guys. I'll do my best.
Also, I have I posted more cat pics.
Kitty, kitty, cat, cat, kitty, cat. Seda is a kitty cat.
Meow.
Exactly.
No, Seda is a Roserade.
What?
No, I'm a Dracopult.
You don't know
No,
what
you're a
Roserade
Rockruff.
is?
No,
You know
I know what a Roserade is. I'm just confused as to how Seda became Roserade.
He posted a picture of Flower.
Yeah, I posted a picture of Flower. It was on the Night Blooming series. That we have in our yard that actually was blooming, so I took a picture of it before the flower completely closed up. And Zim made a poor joke.
I mean, that's Sim.
I
Hey,
thought
what?
it was a nice joke, but okay.
And then I got a Dragapult TF.
Nice.
Why do you bury your cat in plushies? And why can't I bury my cat in plushies?
Because Leonardo was a cat who just likes sleeping. On a winter's day, he would come rushing to my door. My parents would let him in. He would hop onto my bed and then shimmy around until he could curl up right next to me under the covers, and he would stay there. And if he didn't stay under the covers, he would be laying on my bedside, and I would get up, get ready to go to work, and he'd still be on the bed when I got back.
See, my cat absolutely hates being under the covers. Unless she's on my chair, because she swaps spots every month. And lately it's been my computer chair. And she curls up under the blanket I keep on my computer chair.
You know, I have a picture I have to send you.
I keep my
Break his
wolf
turn to
blanket
cat
that you saw.
posting while we try to wake up Lerny.
We wake up Werny of cats. I don't think my burritos are supposed to taste like plate. It tastes like hot Bernie plate.
Also enjoy the cat post.
Kitty cat. Data cat.
Haven't actually been a cat yet.
We can fix that.
Eventually.
We can fix this error.
Gotta make Abby cat too.
I've actually been playing Special Pikachu Edition and naming Pokemon after my friends. And I got a Nidoran that I named Seda, which means the Nidoran female I had to name Abby. I'm sorry, Abby. But I had to keep you two together. I also have a Sandslash named Granite.
Oh.
It's very fitting because he is ground type, like Granite. He's not shark, but he digs through ground like shark. And I was going to replace him, but I have yet to find a Pokemon that's actually good enough to be a replacement. You're still missing Werny.
Yeah, no, wait, RC is trying to get 40 up.
I tried calling him on Discord, that didn't work.
You must be dead tired.
You know, there was a sketch that I believe that was Wardy's on from Sierra Stream Day that seems very oddly appropriate right now.
I know. I was actually about to point that out. Yeah, like this is like this is just a fulfilling prophecy.
It's like there's just like that time at Anthrocon.
Wait, which time? There's a lot of them.
It's just so it was just the
that time where we didn't want to move him.
Yeah. He looked. They.
Oh, I remember.
Wordy looked so comfortable.
And then he woke up in the middle of the night and moved.
Looking at memes while we wait.
Okay, I tried my best.
You tried. What can you do?
He's asleep.
We gotta walk to his house.
Can't walk to his house.
Do it. Do it.
Why don't you just fly over there?
I would like $50,000 first.
I was gonna say I suggest we launch a vector at orbital velocity.
Wait, hold up, wait.
Yeah, let me.
Sweetheart, you're a stone toss away from New Jersey, and like you can probably get there in like maybe like an hour or two.
But We need a guidance system.
Would you like a map? I have a map.
So what we do is we do a offline hype train for Avi again, so he explodes into a dragon, and then send him over.
No.
No.
Are you trying to delete the New England coast?
Yes.
That only works. Well, I guess he does get it from being all blushy and broken. So yeah, that would work.
Look, remember, donations are my thing. Abby cute.
Abby is cute.
Abby's
Oh,
cute.
wait.
I like this meme. If you have they, them in your bio, I will not argue with you. I'm clearly outnumbered.
Okay.
I can't be mad at that one.
That's hilarious.
Hey, how does Samurai deal with a non-binary opponent?
He doesn't.
They slash them.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They slash.
They slash them.
They slash, with their katana, and they slash them. They slash them.
Yeah, one of my favorites
mean.
is I recently discovered the subreddit of Love for Land Chads, where it has like a bunch of funny memes. But one of my favorite was you will address me by they them pronouns, and it's there's multiple of you, I'm doubling your rent.
Yeah.
That's just
mean.
Well, no.
I'm not liking these jokes.
No, the entire point of Love for Land Chads is just memeing landlords. It's great.
And Theta, don't be rude. They're not these jokes, they're those jokes.
Oh, I'm glad I could help Fox Empire. Alrighty, we all regather. We all ready to continue?
I'm ready.
I think so.
Yep. Okay. Carry on.
Oh, where do
But
we
yeah,
get?
I don't really know what all this is with the water and all that. But whenever this is over, we need to go find Gregory's mom and get her the cure, which I have nice and safely tucked in here, and he's gonna pat his bag.
It's not gonna float up, is it?
No, it's not water.
We should probably take this time to rest. I'm not feeling I'm at my peak if we're gonna take on Alabaster Gleam.
Dart's gonna kind of look over to where he was struck by the water. Or grazed by the water and just kind of give it a rub.
There is no area. It got cut off. You only have half a tail.
No.
By the way, at the moment of talk about dealing with Alabaster Gleam, Shade's gonna look over at all the white robe people and go, "Don't worry, we're talking about the people that have trimmed robes, not you. You're fine."
The evil purple trim robes stabbed me.
Also, the ones with red robes. They're also bad too.
Wait, red robes?
Yeah, there were those. Oh, and there's also this other half that have really great. That's a whole fun story.
Been through
They've
a lot.
got zombies.
Oh, remember that? What was it they called it? Festival thing. Yeah, they killed everyone there.
Dart's just gonna put a paw on Shade's shoulder. When this is all over, we have a very long story.
I don't doubt it, but I'm just letting you know your paw is actually super heavy. I don't know if you know this. I feel like you don't know about this, so I'm just letting you know that you have This is very. This is actually very heavy right now.
Oh, Avi, do you want to say something?
Is it like, okay, Dart's gonna like cautiously for like.
Avi, do you want to say something?
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say like I think like, and this is like towards like everyone into the base. Like everyone like here agrees. Like we're not gonna do any shenanigans here, right? Like, and I'm like saying this both to like everyone to the group and also to like the white robes as well. Like we can all agree here. We're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna do anything stupid here. We're not gonna fight. Right?
Man, I don't want to fight you guys. I got like 3 kids at home.
That's
Okay.
good.
That's all I need to know. It's already bad enough out there. I don't want any other shenanigans here.
Just, please don't attack us either. We
Why not?
know that you mercenaries are pretty tough and all that, but we really honestly don't have anything at all.
Mercenaries?
What's a mercenary?
We aren't here
We're
to
guild.
fight you people. We are here to help you. We're
That's not what they said, our leaders.
What do they
Well, your
say about
leaders
us?
are liars.
No, I'm curious. What do they say about us?
You say that you're here for blood. You're not here to help. You're here to steal as much as you can while the getting's good.
Yeah, that's not us.
Irony.
We haven't even taken a single bit of food. In fact, we've been refusing food.
Okay, I just want to set the record straight. I've been refusing food.
We have to, because of your suggestion.
Oh, yeah, just don't worry. We're not out here for blood. We're here to stop Alabaster Gleam. I still want to know why they're doing all this.
Oh, it's because they're greedy.
I want to hear it from their mouths.
Look, trust me, I'm a bit of an expert on this. They're doing this because they're greedy.
Dart's just gonna interject, just lighter tap on Shay's shoulder. It's like
clonk.
Hang on, metal pipe sound.
Light tap, shade goes down.
Look, Shade is very visibly like rip showing bag of bones right now. Just pointing that out.
Just have like one of those skeleton falling apart sound effects.
Yeah, the bone rattle after the pipe falling SFX.
It's like, Dart does the hey meme from Spider-Man, and just Shade just like collapses on the ground.
Family Guy death poses.
Question.
I don't know, but Dart was just gonna be like, lighter tap, kind of like more hesitant and self-aware after Shade's comment, just being like, "Oh, Shade, I think after when it's all over, we have a lot to catch up on, but I guess at least for the moment, welcome to our little gang here.
Can we call it something else? Can we not call it a gang?
No, definitely not a gang.
What's a gang?
Let's just call it a group. It's a group.
I know that they are a group.
Welcome to Team Ashledon, a little group of misfits here.
Well, how are we gonna get into the little camp area?
I mean, it is a camp area that is encompassed by the forest.
Are we just gonna? Is Gregory do all the work of getting his mom here?
I could also just make a big old distraction like I planned to originally. Unsurprisingly, they really don't like me.
I mean, I don't think they like any of us, but I also don't think any distraction should involve any of us going alone. Unless you have a very good backup plan, because Argus over there is still not...
I got stabbed.
Have you tried not?
I did try not, but the dagger followed me.
The guy's name was Mr. Pop
Putty.
Putty.
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Putty. He likes to play with sharp claws that are easy flimsable. I broke one with my head crest. Smiles.
I broke one of
Okay,
them
are you
too,
talking
but
about
then
the boring one?
Amos didn't.
Maybe
The monkey guy.
Oh,
That might
yeah,
be-
him. Yeah, he's boring.
He also likes to throw these weird bottles at us.
Do you,
Well, yeah,
do you
but-
remember his full name, Taldarius?
Wasn't it like Mr. Putty or something like that? Or like the
Oh,
actual name?
he does have a first name, and I'm pretty sure I told you.
I don't know if you told me specifically.
Okay, well, you know his first name because, well, people have addressed him fully in your presence.
All right. Yeah, I'm checking down my notes and I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Okay, well, I'm mostly giving this to you because this is a good chance for your character.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is that his full name is Silly Putty, and I refuse to call him by that.
Dart's gonna try to resist a giggle because even though he doesn't fully understand the name, that just sounds very.
Argus isn't even resisting.
That
Look, I can't get an explanation, but it just like it rankles me. Like that name, I don't know. So he's the boring one to me because he never rises to like my threats or insults or anything, and he just has a dumb grin on his face, so he's boring.
Oh, he rose to our threat. He tried to kill me.
Yep.
Oh no, he'll
Argus
do that.
gets-
Like
Yep,
he'll do
Argus
that, but
did
like
get stabbed by Silly Putty.
yeah. Okay, look, yeah, he's roughed me up before. Like he'll do that, but he doesn't like verbally respond. He just has this very dour yes, and then like whatever deadpan response.
Yes.
It's no fun trying to threaten or insult someone who doesn't react to it. It's the only little bit of thing that I could do while locked away, and he didn't even give me that. He's boring.
Well, I will
What's up,
definitely.
Abby?
Oh, I was about to just say, like, Vector was just, kind of replying to Shade, like, well, I will tell you one thing. I do not like him at all. I don't like him, and honestly, the sight of him annoys me. And I all I want to do is I just want to hit him hard and put him on the ground because and he just looks at Argus and just like I don't want to lose anyone again, and just
I
You know
don't
what?
want to die again.
I like your attitude. Yeah, I've had to deal with him mostly over the past couple weeks because everyone else got too pissed off to want to give me food or deal with me. So I've been dealing with him like the past week and a half straight.
Mhm.
Dart's gonna ponder a bit more. So who's running this operation here?
Well, Alabaster Gleam. Like,
I
did we
mean,
just cover this?
I mean, more particularly, who?
Who in particular?
Like, and he's gonna like look at, like, take glances at like the other white robes, and like also look at Gregory and Shay, just being like, who? Like, there must be someone in charge.
Oh, yeah. There's someone in charge. He called himself Baron Saint.
Baron Saint. Hmm.
I mean, don't look at me. I've been locked up for the past 3 weeks.
Which one? Which one is that?
No, he doesn't really show his face very often around here. He's usually kind of like just stays in his tent over in the campgrounds. If I had to describe him, it would be. And let's go ahead and make a roll on the Pokemon table, shall we?
Oh no, I just
Make him a
described as
Rockruff. Make him a
jackass.
Rockruff.
We don't need another Rockruff.
Or we
Although that
do.
would be extremely.
We
This is
need
not the Rockruff campaign.
look. We need to cult to the lamb this thing where we beat the evil boss and we recruit them.
Oh, and we give them a T-shirt.
We give them a T-shirt.
That's like Fire Emblems. Yes, you're my enemy. By the power of friendship or with extreme violence.
They reveal them.
And isn't friendship and extreme violence just the same thing?
Okay,
No.
I got the Pokemon. He's kind of like, he's a rather small fellow, just bundled up in cloth. It's actually really hard to see his face or his body. All that we really get to see from him at all is just his tail. It's kind of thick and yellowish.
Yeah, Dart's gonna ponder for a moment and be like, depending on how things go, we could potentially use that to our advantage. Because there's a Meister at Starlight, but only a Baron here.
If we could beat this guy, we could beat the other one.
Not necessarily beat, but
Well, if we could run his operation here.
not necessarily beat, bluff.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah, honestly, like maybe biased. I'd rather just beat him up.
Repeat that, Tyler, as you broke up.
I was saying, look, I may be a bit biased, but I'm definitely for beating them up.
I would say that, because there's a lot of them, and from the sounds of it, just one of them was able to take down most of us. Or at least a portion of us. Let alone if we try to fight them all together. The leader is definitely the one that we should go for first. Or at least target primarily. However, I still feel like it would be better to try and bring the town around. Perhaps if we get the medicine made and make sure that it works, we can make a big deal over, hey, we got the medicine and we're fixing everybody. And that might bring the rest of the townsfolk over to our side, because we're actually putting forth action, you know?
No, agreed. Like, first and foremost, we need to help the town. They're sick. They need help, and then we need to figure out from there how we dismantle the operation making them sick, and getting that cure crafted. Like, if Gregory's mother went out to camp, then we need to head towards the camp to find her. Help however we can to synthesize the cure, distribute it, and then that admittedly I don't have a plan for from there, because there's a lot of uncertainties after that. How quickly, how effective the cure is, how much intervention we might get.
First, we need to stop them from distributing the poison.
Wasn't there something about the water tanks?
Yeah, if we take out the water tanks, I bet we could stop them. Or at least stop them temporarily.
I'm not so certain anymore.
No?
Well,
I,
Go on, Jet.
I'm inclined to agree with Dart. I don't think us destroying their water supply is going to do us any good. I doubt that that's where their poison is. I'm fairly certain it would be something else that they add to it after they after they make the food and such.
Thinking about it further, I would actually think that those tanks are their clean water supply.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yes.
So Shade mentioned that there were a couple Alabaster Gleam members before the rest arrived. The damage to the water supply may already be done. They may not even have any poison at all.
I didn't think of that. Do we
You know,
still
if we
have
just
the other water? Maybe we could test the between the two. And if theirs is clean, we can distribute that amongst all the people.
I'm sure the
you know,
Alabaster Gleam...
if we find one of the purple robe members, we could probably just beat them in a fight. They'll tell us.
You would think, but ours just ran away.
Yeah, they like.
Well,
drank
yeah,
some
but you
of
gotta
the
you gotta
route.
actually beat them.
But Argus, it was just the, I think it was just the three of us, and
Thought
it was
four.
or four. Vector just kind of looks down and just looks at himself like, I'm just, and also it just, yeah, it was just, he just kind of like, wait, I don't really know how to fight that much, so, and I know we did our best, Argus, but definitely, with more of us, it probably would be a lot easier than just, the 3 or 4 of us.
Dart's gonna walk over to Vector and put a paw on his shoulder.
Clonk.
And
Look, I didn't see you fight, but you'll get there. But
I mean, look, if it helps, me and Jolene managed to take out an Alabaster Gleam member by ourselves. They didn't talk though, so we couldn't exactly question them.
But I think the most important thing though is that we cannot make the first strike. We want to help the town, and we don't want to cause unnecessary violence. If we just start going around swinging anyone who's wearing a robe, again, and he turns to Gregory and apologizes again, like sorry again, then we're no better than them.
But if they have a purple robe,
no, if anything, we should let them make the first strike because our intentions are good. We want to help the town.
But they're smart enough to know to seclude us before they make a strike.
Then we stick together.
How about we just do my original plan where I just make like a large commotion in the middle of the town, so that way some of them come over and try and stop me. And then everyone could just gang up on them.
Okay, 2 questions. What kind of commotion did you have in mind?
Oh, I was just gonna, tell everyone about how much of a, them being giant liars, scam artists, yada yada yada, all the stuff I was yelling before, but now that I'm out from behind the door, and they know I've broken out. Well, no, it's not about getting people to believe me. It's that I'm very certain that an Alabaster Gleam member or 2 will come by to basically see what the commotion is, and then see that I'm outside and try and put me back inside.
I see your intentions, but I'm not quite sure it's going to be super effective.
I mean, that's fair, but
I think
I could do that, and then you guys could try getting the Snowberry to Miss Shimmers while everyone's distracted.
What was it, Argus?
I was just thinking they'd ignore it because that would devalue your words even more than than putting you away.
Well, yeah, but like you saw with everyone else, people really do like respect what Bippin says. So if I bring up the fact that Bippin was specifically trying to tell me to get a certain plant and that it would help cure everyone, then they'd be much more willing to at least like hear me out.
Okay.
True. Even better if we can get the potion to Bippin and Bippin can say it himself.
Yeah, but this is that'd be like the best way to turn like everyone away from all the Alabaster Gleam stuff. But I'm just trying to figure out how we can get the Snowberry to Miss Shimmers effectively.
Just have. I keep forgetting his name.
Hey, Gregory.
Yeah, just have Gregory take it.
Would you be willing? Gregory?
What's up? What's up?
Would
What's the
you be
question?
willing?
Be willing to do what?
Would you be willing to take the snowberries to your mom and have her come to us?
He kind of ponders and considers it. No.
You did take all my gold.
No?
No. I trust my mother will be coming back here.
So we don't need to go anywhere, we just need to sit here.
Yes.
I guess the better question is how long is that slicing rain expected to last?
Well, the last time this happened was when my great-great-grandfather was still alive. He said that it lasted for a full day and a half.
What?
We don't have that time.
We don't have.
I don't know if the Snowberry will be fine for that. I did literally dig it out of the ground.
Are there any secret tunnels in the basement?
Doc.
Yes?
Is there any chance that you might be able to... Because, like, we're here where they're supposed to be able to make the medicine. Is there any chance that you could possibly do it? We could try and help.
I can try, but I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to these kind of formulas. The precise equipment and measurements needed might be beyond me. I really only know how to powder.
And it might be damaged. The roof was collapsing. The roof almost partially collapsed on Shade.
Well, don't worry, I threw the bag forward because I saw that happen.
But no, I'm talking about the equipment to brew.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah. That.
Either way, we either try to make it ourselves or we go out.
Well, if it is the first step of the preparation process, the grinding into a powder.
I got no clue.
Because, at least the way that I see it, the Alabaster Gleam pose a very real danger, especially when we isolate ourselves. At this stage, I think it is wise if we stay together as one big group. Because even splitting us off in half can have potentially dangerous consequences.
Then I can tell you what. With the snowberries that you have gathered so far, I can powder it and make exactly 3 doses. It won't be enough for the entire town, but it might be enough to wake up maybe somebody that might be helpful for us.
Bippin.
I don't know how many doses he'll need, but yeah.
I think that was Doc, you read my mind there a little bit. I think if we can prioritize getting a cure to, you know, a trusted individual like Bippin, assuming they are okay from the slicing rain, then that can be our course of action to swing to show Alabaster Gleam's lie.
Okay. What were you saying, Zim?
We could at least test it as well, because we do have, I think it was 2 that we brought that were sick.
Yeah.
You're giving us, you could make 3 doses. Well, we've got 2 here that are sick, so we can at least see if it works.
That is
Well,
true.
Yeah,
I do
but
not
Bippin's
doubt that.
large.
While I do not doubt that, I do think that we might want to keep at least 1 in reserve for ourselves. What if one of us gets hit with the Crimson Curse?
Alright, we tested on one of them here, and give another to
Got the other
Bippin,
for Bippin.
and that's at least a start.
Well, if you give it to one, give it to Jack.
Jack is you said the bird, right?
Did you?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what a Pidgey is.
Well,
He just knows a bird.
yeah, he's actually the leader of the local rescue team. So, you know, if you give it to one of them, give it to him.
Wait, what?
Leader? Then that means he will have the most
Yeah.
influence.
Well, I mean, technically, Bippin has the most influence. It's just that, you know, Jack is just kind of like, you know, the good, solid leader, and Bippin is kind of like half in retirement and half out of it. You know?
Well, anything to up our chances, right?
What else we could use to start it, man?
I'd
Maybe
say let's
there's-
go ahead and make
What?
the 3 doses.
I
Is there
would
a
agree.
recipe?
What do you think, Seda?
Who's Seda?
Dart.
Doc, can you make those doses down here, or would you need some equipment above?
I can make them down here. I keep some supplies on hand just for such an occasion.
Okay, then I think. Anyone tell me if this is a bad plan, but I think this is the best course of action given everything that we have.
I think it's ideal.
Like, Doc, you tell us anything we need to do to help you. Grind up that snowberry and make the doses. We give the first dose to Jack to verify if it works. If it works, we wait for the slicing rain to clear. We assess the damage, help anyone out who is in the immediate vicinity that needs help. We head straight back to the town's center if it is all clear, and we assess to see if Bippin is still there, and if we can, administer a dose to them, and hopefully that is enough to swing the tide.
I will say, a day and a half is very long.
We don't know how long it'll take to Starlight.
That is.
We don't even.
Go ahead and let Abby finish.
Oh, and also, I don't even know, like, if there's even anything going to be left here in this town. But what about the inhabitants here? Are we just gonna let it? Are we just gonna let everyone here alone?
Oh, like I said, this place floods like all the time. The townspeople are very good at rebuilding.
I don't think anyone said anything about leaving people alone here. It's just we're gonna be like, after we get things fixed, that's when we rush to Starlight.
Yeah, we can't.
We
We
just
can't.
don't have much time.
We don't have time. We have to go.
I would also suggest we should periodically check the check the door verify that the slicing rain is still occurring.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, we could also just I'm not going to do it right now, but we could always just like peek open my bag a tiny bit and see if little Jolene bubbles come out.
That is actually a very good point. Very excellent idea.
What if she?
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
I mean, I could also like, and this is like out of character. Like, I could, I could also just, I mean, it's just like, and I just like try to like make little bubbles. Like, I could also try that. I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk hurting Jolene.
It's going to tilt his head a little bit. Let the bubbles fly.
Oh, what's that?
Out of character, like let the bubbles fly.
Oh,
but Dart's going to tilt his head in character, like, what do you mean?
well, well, people were saying that, water was kind of going up, right? So, and, well, you were gone and we were fighting. Something happened. I wasn't really don't know what happened, but it looked something like would be something made out of water, right? And can I have Vector try to make small bubbles, like like to come out of his mouth, or
Do you have like bubble beam or anything like that?
I do have. I mean, I have bubble as my moveset.
Yeah, go for it. Have you mastered that move?
That's the one you gave him to start with because of the battle.
Ah, gotcha. Did I give it to you already mastered?
I think I was able to use it 3 times. I think from the fight.
You gave it to him without rolls, but only that move.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you can make bubbles. Go ahead and blow your bubbles.
I'm gonna start like like he's like trying to take a deep breath, and he's gonna like slowly try to like breathe out, like as he's like trying to like breathe out, like imagining, like trying to like as if like he's just trying to like gargle something out. And I just thought like maybe make a few bubbles like to come out.
Okay, and bubbles come out of your mouth.
Do they float up
Do
or
they
down?
do they float up do they float up or down?
Well, being bubbles, they float up.
But
I
the
mean,
question...
no, I know what you're asking. I know what you're asking.
Yeah.
you all can still hear the zings outside.
Oh, okay.
And the bubbles floating up tell you that yes, the weather event is still going.
Well,
We have a way to check.
We keep on listening for the zings of the slicing rain, and if we feel like they stop, we check with the bubbles. And if the bubbles are acting, I guess, less floaty
Bubble-like?
than normal, then we check the door. Any disagreements or amendments to the plan? Because I think Shade, I feel like you are probably going to cause some commotion regardless. And I think that commotion probably should happen after we administer a dose to Bippin.
Well, first, I guess let's see how long it takes. Because you're right, I'm gonna cause a commotion. But if we time it so that way, by the time that I start it, Bippin would be waking up about,
Well, any objections?
It sounds like an okay plan.
I'm all for this plan. Get it all get things going, and if we're gonna be stuck down here for a while, we might as well do something with the time. So let's try making those doses and see if it even works.
Hey, Doc. Oh, Azareth?
I have no objections. I would like to rest up from fighting Mr. Not Silly Face.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
from the sounds of it, you, Argus, Vector, and Amos, you guys should rest up. It sounds like you guys had a very tough encounter.
I died.
There. You're still with us.
I became a jet.
And Dart's gonna turn to Doc like, Doc, tell us what you need. We're here to help.
What I need you all to do is simply rest. I can handle the makings of this antidote myself. But like I said, the powdered form is only going to be able to cure 3 people. She turns over to Shade. Shade, was it?
Yeah, hi.
Where did you get these, and are there more?
So, had to go deep into the forest for it. Some weird rock thing was gathering, well, not gathering, but like had it all around, were napping around him. Ate a lot of burritos. Don't know where he got them. And basically had to cut a deal with him. I got a snowberry in exchange for promising to really mess up, Alabaster Gleam's day.
Are you...
So there's more, but we'd probably have to fight or cut more deals to get more.
I see. Okay. How amicable was he to working with you?
Let's just put it to, like, not very.
She kind of frowns at that. I see. We are going to need more snowberries if we are going to cure the rest of this town. And whatever deal you made with him, I have a bad feeling about it.
Oh, trust me, I do too. I have a really bad feeling about it. But, I was by myself, and I did not feel comfortable trying to fight whoever that was, because if I lost, no one would get any snowberries. So.
It is true. I'm sure what you did was very brave then. All right, the rest of you rest up. This will take me about an hour to make. And saying that, she kind of takes a small satchel that she's been carrying with her, and she begins to take out small little instruments like a mortar and pestle. I think that's what you call them. And and as well as a few other like little bits of dried herbs and spices and whatnot. And she begins to start grounding things together.
Jet's going to be observing.
Okay.
Argus is resting because he's still hurt.
Okay.
Shade's gonna finally, kind of relax a bit and probably pass out very fast. But first, he's gonna look at all the white robes around and say that if they do anything to mess with Doc or the rest of them, he's gonna rub pulped up Aurum berries into their nice white robes.
They look at Shade oddly and just go, okay.
Shay, do you have anything but empty threats to innocent people?
Empty?
Jade and Victor just kind of looks up, just like I think everyone agrees we're not gonna mess with each other. Sorry, Victor's just kind of trying to lay down. I'm just trying to get some rest.
No, seriously, what do you mean? It's not an empty threat. Alright, okay then.
All right.
not here to cooperate with you.
And now we wait for an hour in real time.
All right, turn on the Jeopardy music.
Oh, at that point, I might fall asleep just like game mode.
We'd all become weary.
I'm okay
Well-
with Pokemon going home and sleep.
Well, we've got a couple of choices. Obviously, we can speed time forward and you all can continue with your misadventures. Or we can consider this a pausing point and end the session for tonight. What would you all like to do?
More Pokerole.
I would say.
I'm good with that.
I would say this might be a good place to stop for now. But that's just my.
I vote for a place to stop too, just because it seems like we're about to hit an actual big commotion event, and it would be nice to have Lyndon and Werny for it.
I concur with that. I think we have 40 minutes left in the session time, but I feel like a lot is going to happen very quickly in those 40 minutes, and I'd rather have the other two here. And plus, I don't mind hitting the hay a little bit earlier.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
I am glad we finally got
Don't-
session again, though. I
don't feel
missed this
sorry.
game.
Then we'll go ahead and
I
we'll do our
don't know what
round
I
robin real quick. And then we'll have our after session for anybody who wants to stick around. First things first, Aurum. Something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
I can't think of anything that needed improvement. I guess it felt like we were slowing down a bit at the end, but we were actually having conflict between us on what to do and what we were each wanted to do. And that's not something we've done before. Normally it's just been run away, but now we're actually fighting over how we want to fix the problems. Which I guess is part of the good thing. Something I really liked. Definitely the Jolene bubbling up. It's a small little thing, but I love it. And I love that Shade had to catch Jolene. And burning thought or idea, you've heard me say it like 2 or 3 times. Jolene as a water mech. I want that to happen.
All right, aviating. Something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
I mean, I really did like the change of events. I think that really kind of kept us on our toes. So that weather effect it really put a kind of urgency to it. I mean, everything else, like more or less, burning question is, what is that? What is causing that? Is it just a natural occurrence? Is it another, Pokemon? Like, what is it? We don't know. I don't want to, getting hit by that. I don't want to know. I don't know. Yeah. But what causing what?
You don't want to taste it?
I mean, I just got here today. I've been here for a day. Let's
Not cut
let's
the
take
puppy
it
in
slow.
half.
Let's take it slow. All right. Let's don't throw everything at once. Yeah. Let's don't jump up. Let's just. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Zim. Something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
I definitely enjoyed the Jolene floating up. But that was already said. I did enjoy Shade's hello.
Still canonical, mind you all.
Oh, I know. Otherwise, something to improve. I don't know. I part of me is honestly worried that we're going too slow for you, but this is a tricky thing to figure out the best course of action for. But we're trying to make action. We're trying to take action.
I can tell. That's why I'm helping things along in small and not so small ways.
Like the giving us 3 doses.
Well, there's 3
Well,
berries. So at least it does make some sense.
Burning thought or
What were you saying,
idea?
Zim?
I mean, we've got a course of action set. We've got a plan in place. Hopefully it'll work. Who knows on that front? It's a tabletop game. Of course the plan's going to blow up in our face in the first 2 seconds.
Amos is gonna have a dream.
I'm curious what this slicing rain thing is. Definitely a weird phenomenon. As well as, what caused it. But otherwise, I think this is going to work. I think we're going to get on track to actually saving Oran Grove finally.
You should lick it.
Alrighty, Taldarius, something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
Okay, so something I liked was that I was able to RP talk my way out of the situation with the rock.
Okay.
Where, I was just kind of like able to, RP my way through that. I like that. Something that I felt could have been improved. I know that people did like the whole, hello thing, but I do prefer giving, meaningful RP instead of say something random with no context.
Oh,
So,
I get you. And it's not going to happen super often, but I want to know.
Well, I'm just saying that, for something to be improved for me, it's at least give me context if you want that, so that way I could try and say something meaningful instead of something completely random and that has absolutely no bearing or anything.
No, definitely understand. One of the reasons why I actually had that happen the way it happened is because, as you actually mentioned yourself, you didn't really know the other characters. So realistically, you could have said anything at all and it still would have come out the same.
Yeah. Well, if you would have told me what the context was, I would have instead probably yelled out something like, "All right, where's Miss Shimmers?" Or because that was that was what was on his mind, where he's rushing back to the town. Some shit's going down, but above all, he has to find Miss Shivers and get Miss Shivers the snowberry, yada yada yada. So he actually would have probably yelled that into the chaos and just said of yelling hello to her for no reason.
Fair enough.
It's funny, but it's not something that I personally really want to have happen too often. But burning fodder idea, I would definitely say is I'm wondering how long it'll take for a dose to work, because the pace we go at hinges a lot on that.
Question. All right, Arzadeyu, something you liked, something you felt could have been improved, burning thought or idea.
What do I like that hasn't already been said? I liked the interaction between the group. I really did. Something to be improved. I don't know how to put it into words, but as Zim said, it's hard to find a solution for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we're running out of time. We don't have days to wait. I wouldn't consider even a full day left. We need to act within 24 hours. So, taking our time is kind of bad. For burning thought or idea, Hopefully combat will be enjoyable when it comes, and it will be cool for everyone to watch. And fun to play.
Good point. Guess I better get my button to gear for that.
Bro, there must be a diplomatic solution.
Okay, if it's diplomatic solution, holy crap.
Well, the diplomatic solution, Shade's gonna throw that right out the fucking window. I'm just letting you know.
What is diplomacy?
One where we don't have to fight, we let the town fight for us.
It is a magical art utilizing a language.
I'm
Diplomancy?
bad. I'm bad with words. I like dancing. I make scales go jingle jangle.
Jingle jingle. All right, Werenimal. Oh, wait, that's right. Werenimal's not here. And for me, it was a good session. What's up?
Hi, I exist.
Oh, Zeta, that's right.
Zeta exists.
Go ahead, Zeta. What do you got for us? Something you like, all that jazz.
I really like the group interaction, discussion, and like trying to like slowly integrate Taldarius into our wonderful batch of misfits here.
Which I am role playing Shade a little bit, so that way he's not exactly perfect fit, but close enough.
Like, we'll soften your edges.
Well, no, I'm trying to find edge, not lose edge.
Ayo.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Just the I had the mental image of Dart keeping Shade on a leash just so he doesn't go full gremlin mode.
This is little rabbit Chihuahua Zorua.
No! Don't just slice their face. No, we're gonna talk this out first. Get back here.
They're wearing white and purple robes. They get no talking. The talking they get is yelling for help.
This dance will be their last. Boom.
Okay. If this is like a Fire Emblem game, that is 100% like, you know, Azureth's just like opening line.
Oh god damn! I have to write that for a quote. God damn it! One moment. God damn it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
What I didn't like, I initially was not a fan of the slicing rain.
Okay.
Just purely from the fact that it did come out of the on the spot tip goal. I was in, and I'm kind of prefacing the negative part first. It did feel a little bit, I guess, like spontaneous in a way that I'm not quite sure how the session would have developed had that not happened.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I really enjoyed how I enjoyed the effect that the weather had on getting the group together in one place and able to have that very vital RP time that I enjoyed to actually come up with a plan. I think now, after 4 sessions, the pieces have fallen into place. We have a firm plan. We've done our initial investigations. We've searched around. We've caused a little bit of commotion and had a fight, but all the pieces are now in place. We have a cure to test. We know who we're going to test it on, assuming we can test it on all the ones we plan to test it on. And, you know, hopefully the profit part is, you know, we are able to swing the town over to our side and show them the truth. Though I'm not a fan of the duration.
In what way?
I feel like the day and a half's too long, but we'll have to live with it.
Oh, the day and a half for the
duration of the slicing rain.
Yeah, and I'm with them on
that. Oh, that. Oh, there's a reason why I have that the way it is.
I'm going to kind of I'm going to like kind of like put it like a neutral kind of like I didn't like that, just because obviously, like, you know, I'm looking at, like, you know, one direction, you know, look at it after the math, you know, obviously you're the storyteller and I in the storyteller I trust. But at least in the moment, I'm like, okay, I don't like that. But yeah, again, I
We're
trust you
gonna
have a
have to go back in the rain.
yeah. No, I trust you have a vision for that, and I will see how that goes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, just all I can say is trust your storyteller.
I mean, like, okay, like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm on the one side, like, okay, what can I do? Say, screw you, Arceus. I'm gonna go, like, I'm gonna test the slicing rain, and then just make a bunch of like, what? How many times would you have me roll? Like, probably like 24 at least.
Probably.
Honestly,
But no.
I was just yeah.
Go ahead, Abby.
No, I was about to say I was just been like, you know what? Heck it. If you need a runner, I'll be the runner.
You are water. You'll just soak it up.
It just in retrospect.
Or we'll have 2 puppies at the end.
Wait, no,
2 half puppies.
no. I can't hug 2 half puppies.
Yeah, you can. You put them together like a puzzle.
But they'll
Well,
never
thank you.
fit again.
Hello out there. Thank you for the follow. Can't talk too much. I'm running a game right now, but talk to you a little bit after. Go ahead.
So yeah, like the fact that like Doc has a, seemingly would be able to get the cure, the initial dose of the cure made in an hour, indeterminate amount of time of how effective it is, if it is effective at all. So like, part of my brain like wants to be like, oh yeah, instantly effective, done, and then, okay, we now have to wait here an hour or a whole day. But yeah, it might be slower than that. So that kind of actually leads me to my burning thought or idea in terms of, is this snowberry cure going to be effective and how long will it take? Because the success of our plan laid out hinges upon the speed of the remedy. And if we're able to court the right allies in time, because while we are not going to abandon Oran Grove, the time is ticking down for Starlight.
Good question. Very good question. Guess we'll just have to find out.
Next time on Starlight Expeditions.
We all died.
As for me, I'm actually rather happy with how this session went out. I was able to accomplish the goals that I had set forth. The first one was to reintroduce weather events. So that was a random weather event. And every so often I'll be rolling on that little table and we'll see what happens. But that'll obviously, it's obviously not going to be like an every session kind of thing. It'll just be when I want it to. But there is a reason I rolled on that table today. And that was because I felt that you all had kind of backed yourselves a little bit into a corner. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to change it up. As well as to get the whole group together, to get you all conferring, RPing, all that jazz. That was my primary goal today, was to get that to happen. Which we succeeded at. You all are together, you all are planning, you're all doing the things, and we'll just have to see what happens. Let me think. In terms of anything else, I have presented a few other opportunities to you guys here as well. I hope you are able to take advantage of them. But obviously, if you don't, you don't, and that's just how it goes. And yeah, I'm happy to how you all RP'd. Glad to see some discussion.
Yay! We are good puppies and dinosaur.
I suppose I should preface that with meaningful discussion. Alrighty. Does anyone else need anything? Oh, and I want to ask the audience. Audience, how did you all enjoy the game? Feel free to say something quick. I'll give you about 30 seconds to say what you're all going to say. To my players, thank you all so much for coming to today's game. I really appreciate having you all here.
I'm sorry I was late.
It's fine.
It's all right. We already know that it's going to be a thing.
I mean,
I
at least
still
you
feel bad.
At least you did show up and
This
not fall
session-
asleep in session.
This session was Poggies.
I don't know what I missed at the beginning.
Honestly, you missed almost nothing besides us recapping and starting our plan. There was almost nothing major.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I like how I had an impromptu thought about like, hey, Dart is like ground steel, so like he'd probably have a very heavy paw.
I honestly appreciate that because it'd just be like, pat shoulder. Wait, I'm heavy.
Wait,
Yeah,
that,
that was
would
good
that make
detail.
would that make me the lightest?
Probably. It's amazing you're not just floating up right now.
I mean,
Evil
he is a
girl.
water type.
Yes.
I'm just imagining how amusing it would have been if, like, Vector being the part water type and, like, the pumice-based rock growth, like, actually was, like, pseudo floating up, so we just had to, like, get, like, some little rocks just to tie his ankles down.
Just I'm a balloon at this point.
Yes, tie some rope to him.
Oh, if only we had thought about it.
I think we've been through this before, and I think the final decision was that Jet was the lightest.
You
Well,
were
technically, I
blowing
think
away in the
Jolene-
wind that one time, yeah.
Well,
Actually,
between of the three rock roughs.
Well, yeah, the rock was, yeah.
Actually, what is your stated weight, Vector, and what is your stated weight, Jet?
Well, Jet's listed as 20 pounds.
We do not know Vector's weight. Nor his size. That was not specified.
Oh, it
actually-
Hey, Dart's also listed as 20 pounds.
Oh,
I'd imagine for Dart, or not Dart, Vector, you actually would be the lightest because of your moves, if I recall.
Well, the reasoning that we had was with the water typing that gives him it's very close, but he is heavier than Jet because Jet's got the ghost type going on, and like his typing is ghost electric, so not much weight to be gained from those, and weight definitely, or typing definitely affects the weight of Pokemon.
You see, when Jet died, he lost that little bit of weight you always lose when you die. So he's literally just dead weight.
Check this one weight loss program. Doctors hate him. Fucking dies. Which does
That's
actually
why
kind
doctors
of
hate
lead
it.
to the question of what happens if Shade dies, considering the fact that, like, the ghost normal type Zora, like, are literally just dead Zora.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual official weight is. Again, that's something that we may need to get some details down still.
Normally I would say you wouldn't turn into that, but seeing as they became the ghost normal type because of spite, and you are the most spiteful person in our group, you might end up a normal ghost type.
I can just imagine now just how Shade just evolving from a normal Zora to a Hisuian Zoroark.
This is bullshit. I lost all my dark fur.
Yeah, but now you've got all the spite on the outside.
No, it should be on the inside. That way I can surprise people.
It's on the inside and outside.
Hey, I mean, if you master illusion ability, you can make yourself look like whatever you want, because that was an actual quest line over in Legends Arceus.
Like a superior.
Oh yeah, no, I
like
can make myself.
Pokemon Weasel.
Yeah, I can make myself look like whatever I want. The thing is that hey, I'm not good at it at all right now, to the point of possible incompetency if I try and roll it, because need to talk to Edge.
Oh, you're like the Ditto in Gen 1, the Season 1. Season 1 Ditto.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Complete with the derpy face.
Well, no, instead it'd be like with the tail, because Zoras can't hide their tail when they transform very well.
So the movie, Zora.
Yeah. But, like, if I actually, like, master it, and once I, evolve, then I could just commit rampant identity.
You could join the Rockruffs as a third or a fourth Rockruff. fifth Rockruff.
You know, the thought did cross my mind that, like, you know, if we need to do some, like, actual, like, shenanigans, we could have Shade pose as one of us and just be like, you know, maybe, like, you know, we want to, like, you know, piss off, like, you know, some corrupt governor who wants to be like, okay, I want your leader as, like, you know, my private guest. Be like, hey, Shay, do you want to just, like, cuss off, like, a snobby royal for a little bit?
I mean, absolutely. Also, I've already done some projections on who the best person to turn into is. Out of game. In game, Shade has no clue.
What are your thoughts
curious
out
to
of
know
game?
who your thoughts are.
It's absolutely 100% Jet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you're the best person for me to pose as.
Why is that?
Out of all the typing here. Because
Oh,
Ghost is
typing.
weak to Dark. So if they try throwing Dark type moves out at Jet, they risk hitting a Dark type with it, which, you know, doo-doo. It also risks the fact that if they know that there's a Zora, then I can do double mind games with the fact that now they won't want to toss out psychic moves at all against either Jet or me, like, you know, whichever Jet they're seeing. Because, you know, hey, you might hit the Dark type with it and do nothing. Then there's, like, you know, just a bunch of other stuff of, he is Ghost type, so fighting moves don't work on him at all, which covers one of my weaknesses as Dark type. So it also disincentivizes trying to fish for fighting move uses. And also the fact that, you know, just like, you know, all that kind of shit. Where the typing matchup is actually really nice because of, you know, the immunity spread we have with our typings. Because, you know, with us, we have 4 typing immunities.
I am the worst one on our team.
But yeah, so Jet is actually the best option for Shade 2 identity theft. Just to mess with enemies. In terms of RP, obviously, like, you know, turning into whoever is what he's gonna do in order to, like, you know, do, like, RP messing with or in, like, social situations. But in terms of pure practicality, in fights, Jet.
Also, as a complete side note, I was going crazy until I found a screenshot because apparently whatever version of this game that we have did not actually have my updated weight on it. A regular Rockruff is 9 kilograms or about 20 pounds. The weight that Rygon and I agreed upon for Dart is 27.6 kilograms or about 60.9 pounds.
Yeah, like I said,
you
have a very heavy paw.
Dart needs to go on a diet.
I do just, like, that has to be one of my best off the cuff like RP thoughts that I've had in a while.
It was very nice. I did really much appreciate it.
It's just because, like, I just went, you know, look, you know, your paw is very heavy.
Your paws are chubby.
So now we're gonna have the thunk meme whenever you do the paw and shoulder thing you like to do.
At some point, you're just gonna swap someone on the back of the head with your paw just to knock them out. And it will work.
I was gonna say, Taldarius, you weren't familiar with the Spider-Man "Hey" meme?
So there's, like, a fuck ton of Spider-Man memes I know.
I will just send you the DM that I was referring to.
Alright. Because I may recognize it the moment you say it to me. I'm just not familiar with the description of it.
Alrighty, so I'm guessing we're all wrapping up then?
I think so.
Alrighty.
That one, yeah. Yeah, that one. Okay, yeah.
I've been asked to be pulled aside for a little bit, so I will be pulled aside. But if anybody needs me, I can still text. As for you all on the stream, I will be muting, but I will see you all there. I'll see all y'all a little bit later, maybe for some more Arma.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You guys
Bye-bye.
take care.
All right. And on my end, thank you everybody for joining us today for the Starlight Expeditions, which I forgot to update the credits for. Woo!
You got this, don't worry.
Just a sec. There we go.
Pokemon Sleep.
Thank you all so much for joining us today for the Starlight Expeditions Pokerole, our Pokemon Mystery Dungeon TTRPG. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really cannot do this without your guys' help and support, whether it is financially or just with your time. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It is one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by going and checking out all of my friends that join me on this stream. I cannot do it without all of these wonderful beings that also stream. You can find all of their links there in the chat, or you can find it in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. And of course, you can also help by subscribing to said YouTube. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu. Y'all can say bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.